and easy. We talked to Monica Starks, who needed to hire for a pivotal role at her company, GS Group.
As the owner of a construction company, finding the right people is a very difficult task. So I use ZipRecruiter.
ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology identifies the right people for your job and actively invites them to apply, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Monica did, and that's how she found Lamont, her new project superintendent.
The job is so perfect for me. I had a career breakthrough. I would have never found this job if it wasn't for ZipRecruiter.
With ZipRecruiter, we've hired everyone from accountants to project managers to field scientists. With ZipRecruiter, we get hiring results.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Did you know your small change can make a difference? The next time you visit McDonald's, please consider rounding up for the Ronald McDonald House. Your change adds up and can help many folks in Eastern North Carolina. Just $10 can provide a free night stay for families with sick children here in Eastern North Carolina and across the state. Just ask your cashier at checkout or choose to round up for RMHC when ordering through the McDonald's app. Thank you for visiting your local McDonald's owned by Dixon Foods and for your support of the Ronald McDonald House of Eastern North Carolina.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is proud ECU graduate and former baseball player Brandon Manning inviting you to join my team at Farm Bureau Insurance. Right now, during hurricane season, is a good time to review your coverage with a local trusted agent like me. I will make myself available before or after business hours, and my clients always have my cell phone number if they need anything. From home, auto, or life, give me a call today and let's talk about your insurance coverage and about the Pirates. Call 531-1812 and go Pirates!
Love Jersey Mike's subs? Love them times 12 with our new catering box. Packed full of a dozen individually wrapped subs. They're yours for the sharing. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above. Tired of cooking at home? Change it up without getting up. Just order Jersey Mike's through our app for no contact delivery or no contact at the door pickup. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
How much does the word reliable mean? Sure, all businesses describe themselves as reliable, and we certainly wouldn't expect any business to be unreliable, but when you take a word like reliable and make it your way of life, the entire core of your business, it tends to mean a little more. And it's something you have to show people, not tell them. At Delcor, we show it by being there the same day you call. We show it by simply doing outstanding work with exceptional products, a family-oriented work ethic, and genuine caring for all of our neighbors throughout Eastern NC, because in a time of need, we know the first and the only thing you need is someone you can count on. That's why we only use equipment you can count on too, like a train comfort system. It's hard to stop a train. Delcor can have a new train comfort system installed in no time, or we can provide an AC tune-up to make sure your system is performing well. So will your system keep you cool all summer? Find out. Call us. We're Delcor, the service professionals. Reliable for over 4 decades. Visit DelcorInc.com today.
Your power's out. There's a water leak. What do? For these and other utility-related emergencies, you need service and you want it fast. There are 2 things you can do to get the quickest response if you're a GUC customer. First, you can call the hotline at 1-855-767-2482 and report any utility-related emergency. That number is also on GUC.com. Or second, you can give GUC your phone number. The hotline process is quickest when their account records have your current phone number. Service you can count on. Greenville Utilities.
Hey, this is Jay from Villa Verde. Did you know that Villa Verde opened up its second location? Yes, it's Villa Verde Dos on Arlington Boulevard across the hospital. This new location is a fast, casual environment where you can make your own bowls for only $9.95. Choose from our fresh ingredients from our toppings bars or enjoy an amazing rotisserie chicken. We promise you can be in and out in less than 15 minutes. For a quick, healthy meal at an affordable price, visit us at Villa Verde Dos on Arlington Boulevard. Villa Verde, a platform for good.
There have been many changes in the automotive world. At Phelps Chevrolet, the Phelps boys are here to take care of you. Mike, Daryl, and 4 of Mr. Phelps' grandsons, Wade, West, Allen, and Clay. You see, things at Phelps remain the same. The Phelps team has served Eastern North Carolina for over 50 years. We make your visit easy and fun. We are your neighbors, and that's what neighbors do. Phelps Chevrolet in Greenville. Like Mr. Phelps' great-granddaughter says, come in and get you one.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the pirate nation. Welcome to Pirate Radio Live.
You can paint this with purple!
Now live from the Pirate Radio studios in the heart of the Pirate Nation, here is your host, Clip Brock.
Hello everyone, welcome in to Pirate Radio Live on a Thursday. Clip Brock here with you inside the Pirate Radio studios, coming to you on Pirate Radio 92.7 FM in Greenville, 104.1 in Washington. We are live online, pr927fm.com, and you can watch us on Facebook Live and on YouTube Live. And check us out there. We've got a lot of in-studio guests on today's program. One to my left right now that we'll introduce momentarily. One coming up at 4 o'clock. Stephen Igoe going to join me to talk ECU UCF. Fantasy football week 3 starts sit. We got some college football picks. And then in the 5 o'clock hour, Troy D will be here in the Pirate Radio studios. We will talk to Mike Golic coming up in the 3rd hour. He'll be on the call with Dave Pash coming up Saturday when the Knights take on the Pirates. Later on in hour number 1, got the big man on campus, Jeff Nadu from Barstool Sports. He'll give us a pick for tonight in the Thursday night football game and talk about this weekend. But right now, joining me inside the Pirate Radio studios, the long-awaited return of Tyler Feldman from WITN Sports. Hello, Tyler.
Hey, Clipper. Just have the mask on. Not sure if the NFL's watching, and they've been passing out fines, 6-figure fines left and right, and I don't have that kind of money, so just to be safe, I don't know if they're watching this. Obviously, Glenn's operating the video. Just to be safe, I want to put a mask on. I don't want to have to pay a 6-figure fine.
And your gloves are loud. I can hear them scratching as you talk.
These gloves are the real deal. I could probably catch a football like C.J. Johnson with these gloves on. I couldn't jump as high as him or run as fast as him, but I could probably catch a football maybe half as well as he can with these gloves on.
Between my mustache and your look you've got today, if aliens saw this, they wouldn't know what the hell's going on Earth.
They would definitely kill me first, and then you would survive, I think, because I know aliens are big mustache guys, so they would probably be fond of your mustache, and then you'd survive, and I'd take the first hit. It's fine. As long as Troy D survives, we get to still see his T-tours. That's what I'm all about right now.
Tyler Feldman is back in full effect. Tyler, you, even before everything happened here in the world.
What were you talking about?
The stuff.
Yeah.
You're a neat freak.
Yes.
You like to stay clean.
I've been ready for this pandemic for ages. I've been preparing.
And how has it gone for you? How is somebody that is already extra cautious about cleanliness handling this situation? Have you been locked inside?
I've been very cautious. For work purposes and for others out there. I don't want to possibly give anything to anyone. I don't have anything. I didn't contract the virus, not yet at least. But I have not been in here since the pandemic. So this is my first time in the new studio, and it is, gorgeous.
How do you like the place?
I love it. It's still got that new car smell, and that new car smell, if the longer the new car smell can stay, the better. Because there's nothing that beats a new car smell.
Are you ready for ECU football?
I'm hungry for some ECU football.
You hungry?
I'm starving.
What do you think about Saturday? 27-point dogs to the Knights of UCF.
You have to think they cover. You have to think
being
ECU.
All right.
You have to think ECU does not lose by 27 or more points. But having said that, I haven't been to a single practice. We aren't allowed to go to practice, so I have no idea what to expect Saturday because I haven't seen the team at all. And we've only been able to talk to Mike Houston and the two coordinators, Blake Harrell and Donnie Kay, yesterday. So
we were talking about it. We haven't talked to an ECU player since 2019, right?
I can't even remember. I've blacked out all of 2019. But there's just no idea what to expect Saturday. And maybe that's why they're 27-point dogs because, UCF happens to be the best team in the conference, top 20 team in the nation, and they have a really talented quarterback in Dylan Gabriel.
I expect a lot of points. I expect a long football game. Shirley, let's hear what Stanford Steve and the Bear had to say on their podcast this week on ESPN. The fifth quarter might be starting late, Shirley. Here's Stanford Steve and the Bear.
UCF showed, plenty of press coverage. Georgia Tech just going to complete it. I think Holton Ahlers is going to be able to hit a lot on those deep balls. They did the same thing. What was it, last year against Cincinnati was the first one? That was the heartbreaker? Mm-hmm. Eastview, they lost a shootout there. I expect both quarterbacks to throw for a ton of yards in this game. I mentioned what UCF's going to do off. They almost play defense like, go ahead, try and take your shots. If you do hit these long 9 routes on the outside, we're getting the ball back. And you try and stop us. So they've taken that to full effect. And it's just going to be a fun one. This game might be over by 5 o'clock. What do you think?
Corso likes to joke about this is a pack of lunch. This is a pack of lunch and get ready for dinner type of game. Yeah, whatever the 3:30 kickoff is on ABC, whoever the producer is, and they might want to slide that kick back quite a bit, or see about maybe kicking that game off on another network, because this is gonna take a while.
All right, there you go. Get ready, pack a lunch, and luckily we will have lunch and dinner and breakfast here from Parker's Barbecue on Saturday, so I'm good to go. No matter how long this game lasts on Saturday, right when it ends, we'll be with you on the U.S. Sailor fifth quarter call-in show. But, Tyler, when you get high-powered offenses scoring a lot of points, a lot of passing, there are so many and too many stoppages in college football. Why do you have to stop the clock on every first down? I don't know, but could be in for a long one on Saturday.
And Stanford Steve, he's been open about being a huge Holton Ahlers fan. Donnie Kirkpatrick yesterday on the Zoom press conference talked about how Holton's shown a lot of improvement for this season in his accuracy. He's been able to handle the pocket a lot better in scrimmages and practices, and that accuracy, he's got some weapons. Blake Prohl, Jeremy Lewis, C.J. Johnson, just to name a few. There are some weapons for those deep balls, and if his accuracy is there, this could be a very, very high-scoring game and could take, hopefully not until 5 o'clock, but it could take a while.
And if those defenders sag off, that could mean another 15 or so catches for Tyler Snead.
Yes. So. That's actually, I'm glad you brought up Tyler Snead. I'm curious to see, because I haven't seen practice, like I said, at all, how defenses prepare for Tyler Snead after seeing what he accomplished last season. Because last season, no one knew about Tyler Snead. He went into every game uncovered, unpredictable. Now people know what Tyler Snead can do on offense. How do teams better prepare for that guy this season?
Tyler brought up Donnie Kirkpatrick's Zoom yesterday, and you can see the clips and the video on our social media site. Shirley, let's hit Donnie Kirkpatrick, too. He talked about the difference between Holton Ahlers now and this time last year.
Well, it's night and day from this time last year. And not that he was bad last year by no means, but early there was definitely, some growing pains. That new system, you come in and you leave high school, you got one system. Next year you got a system. Now you're in your third system here. Some of it, confuses you a little bit. Some of it just how we do things. And early in the year, I kept saying, on these Wednesdays, God, we're so close. There were some signs that we were getting it. We were about to turn the corner. And we just weren't scoring a lot of points. We just couldn't seem to, put enough base hits together to score any runs there. And then eventually, about the second half of this game, it kind of started to come together a little bit for us. And I think minus the Tulsa game, he played, as good as anybody in the country did. I think he's picked up from that in all the practices we've had, which have been many. His accuracy has been the biggest improvement. It made a big jump last year. It's been outstanding, though, through all the practices, all the team sessions, all the different deals. And he's now controlling, the protection so much more, making calls for us, changing plays a little bit more, trying to get us maybe out of something bad, maybe into something better. I think last year he was probably somewhat the leader of the offense, though I think, and really until Reed left, I don't know that everybody looked at him like he was the guy. And as much as we hated losing Reed and what that put us in a tough situation, in the end, it actually probably turned out to make it a better situation for Holton. I think then everybody knew he was the guy, and I think that helped him. I think it helped his confidence. It helped him become a better leader. Now, this year, he's becoming the leader of the whole team. You know what I'm saying? That's a big step for when you do that. Now I think the defense kids are listening to him, and he's a great role model. So that's the kind of guy that a coach wants to be, speaking and doing by example and having people follow him, because he's a gym rat. He's always over here watching tape. He's always committed to the deal, and he's doing what's right off the field, and he's leading, in a positive manner. He's been unbelievable for these young quarterbacks. Brought 3 kids in, and they're making that adjustment. And this has been the toughest adjustment year ever with this pandemic and this craziness and the whole bit. So everything's been different, and it's just been wild. And boy, he has really taken all of them under his wing, and they love him for doing that. And that really shows you when you got something special, because he not worried about, I don't want this guy to come in and look good or what. I mean, he wants the team to be good. He wants the team to be good if he gets injured. He wants the team to be good after he leaves.
Donnie Kirkpatrick, as you said before we started the show today, Tyler, the best interview we've had in a while with ECU football coaches, administrators, anything. Donnie K can get it rolling.
He could also get rolling when talking about his starting quarterback. He clearly loves Holton. Why wouldn't you? I love how he could just interject baseball terminology, hits and runs, into a football press conference. That's the kind of energy that I want out of ECU Saturday. If Donnie K can bring that same sort of energy, where he said, I think at some point in that press conference, he said, we're going to need 4 quarters to win this game. Probably. It's a 4-quarter game unless it goes into overtime. That's the energy this Pirates team needs.
ECU needs at least 6 touchdowns to win on Saturday. Probably 7 or 8. I mean, I think UCF gets well into the 40s. I got them scoring 54.
Yes.
I mean, that's just what they do. That's I hate to have a defeatist attitude heading into it, but that's what the numbers say. That's what UCF is. So,
and ECU's got a very young defense, and we haven't really seen what the defense can do at all. So it's a tough first task for Blake Harrell in his first game as defensive coordinator for the Pirates.
Blake Harrell got rolling on a few answers yesterday. In fact, he talked about facing UCF in the opener, cut one, Shirley, and how tough this task is.
You look at their success over the past, several years and just what they've been able to do and accomplish. And I was just kind of scanning through the game notes earlier, and, out of the past 40 games, I think out of the, 39 out of the last 40, they scored over 30 points. And offensively, just at their numbers, it's pretty amazing. And just, it's kind of, I want to call it video game-like of what they've been able to do with that. So it's certainly a challenge. And as the new guy coming in and challenges ahead, it's not not the way you kind of we want to ease into it, but hey, it is what it is, and our kids are excited, and we're excited to get the season started. That's for certain. It's been a long time coming at that, and I'm excited to see our kids go out there and attack it and go play. I mean, shoot, from the day we rolled around here, I think January 29th, and went through last spring and all those challenges and through the summer, and hey, it's finally here, so I'm ready for it.
All right, there is. I forgot. Keep going, Blake.
That long answer to your question there, but it's finally here, and it's a challenge, yes, but it is what it is.
That was a Jim Rome-esque pause by Blake Harrell there.
It is what it is.
He said that a couple of times.
It is what it is.
And what it is a very high-powered offense that his defense will be facing. And like you said, Tyler, we haven't been out there, haven't been to practice, haven't talked to players. Last year, ECU started the same 4 defensive linemen every game. None of those guys are here this year. So, get your programs ready. A lot of new names, a lot of new faces you're going to have to get used to, especially on that D-line.
Well, you look at ECU's D-line, exactly what you said. No notable names. And then you look at UCF's defensive line, and Donnie K talked about it. Very experienced defensive line. Blake Harrell talked about how, unlike last season where UCF got out to a very fast start and ECU was slow to come back and somewhat made it a game late.
Yeah.
Blake talked about how they need to come out in the first quarter and play aggressive. So, I don't know. You know as well as I do because we haven't really seen this team play. There's birthday boy Chandler, intern Chandler in the his owl. I was hoping to see him
in the his owl.
In the his owl. That's what This isn't just a house. This is pretty pimped out, so it's a his owl.
We're about to move on from ECU UCF. So as we are segueing into our next topic, I think now would be a great time to sing "Happy Birthday" to Chandler.
I love singing "Happy Birthday."
Right. Shirley, you can get in on this if you'd like. Glenn, you don't have to, but
Glenn, get crazy. Knock yourself out.
All right, here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Chandler.
Why don't they hire you and not make you an intern anymore?
Happy birthday to you.
And many more.
Happy birthday, Jay.
Boy, if this was the voice, I would turn my chair around for you, Clip. That was sensational.
Roll it right out of the studio.
That was awful.
Better clip that.
Clip that?
For Chandler. Clip it for Clip.
All right. Anyway.
Okay.
A lot of Pirate fans feel like football is back now that ECU's playing. SEC fans feel that way because the Southeastern Conference gets underway this weekend. Tyler, give us the elitist Big Ten Tyler Feldman talk here.
You don't want this talk.
Is football not back until the Big Ten laces it up and gets out on the field, Tyler?
I'm just at the point in this pandemic. If something happens, great. If the Big Ten plays, great. If not, I feel terrible for the student athletes. But that's where I'm at right now during this pandemic. I want everyone to play safely.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Big Ten football to be back. I have no idea what to expect. I have a buddy who's an assistant coach in the SEC. I called him. He's got a big game tomorrow.
Tomorrow. So what SEC team plays Friday?
Wait, today's Thursday?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, hold on. The next tomorrow. Tomorrow's tomorrow.
The day after tomorrow?
The day after tomorrow. And I talked to him yesterday, and he's so amped up. They're all ready to play. I mean, the SEC is the crown jewel of college football, and you've got a lot of talented players with the chance to do some damage. So I don't know what you want me to say about the Big Ten. It was just a roller coaster ride. Were good decisions made? Maybe. Were bad decisions made? Maybe. But they're playing football. That's all that counts. I'm excited for the student athletes that they'll have the chance to play this
Just
season.
give me the games. I'm ready for them and excited to watch whoever it is. I want to see some Mountain West late night. Maybe a little Pac-12.
Yeah.
Bring back the MAC midweek.
Yeah,
I want it all.
No action is going to be tough.
That is. I mean, those cold nights, the stadiums are empty anyway.
Yeah.
Get the kids in there playing some football.
Exactly.
Penn State is supposed to be good this year, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's another reason the Big Ten wants to get back at it. They see these other schools playing, and there's going to be a playoff, and they want to be a part of it. So I love what they're doing, by the way, with the championship weekend. One's playing one, and then two's playing two, three. Because that Maryland Rutgers game, although they might be on the same side, but whatever it is, that last place versus last place. That's going to be
That's what it's all about. That's where you make the money. And that's what it's all about with college athletics at the end of the day. For better, for worse.
That is a good
It's all about money.
High school football back, kind of, sort of, right, Tyler?
So, Parrott Academy opens its season Friday, as does John Paul II. 8-man football is a go. It gets going this Friday. I'm off. Billy will be shooting those two games, but it's kind of just exciting.
Yeah.
You don't really realize what you don't have until it's gone. And I feel like that's been someone's written that into a song. I don't know exactly what song that is. You don't know what you got till it's gone.
Finish your point.
Anyway,
It's Big
I'm
Yellow
excited
Taxi,
for those.
by the way. That's the name of the song.
How's it go?
On and on.
Shirley knows. Shirley knows.
You got till it's gone. It's Big Yellow Taxi.
Yeah. We knew you'd know. That's why you're here.
It was covered. I think it was a Tony Mitchell song, but it was covered by the Counting Crows.
Escape Paradise and put up a parking lot.
Yeah, sing it. Na, 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 ooh.
All right, we got it now. What were we talking about?
High school
8-man football.
8-man
of course.
football. Yeah, Troy actually wants to come and sing as well. He just couldn't keep himself out of this room. Look, I'm excited for those high school. Cinderella?
Yeah, that's what it. Don't know what it got till it's gone.
Yeah, but there's also aligning Big Yellow Taxi.
Troy does seem like a Cinderella guy. Just give him that glass heel, midnight. He's ready to roll.
The slipper still fits. Gus Johnson. All right, so high school football. That was that took a turn.
It did take a
for
turn.
the better. Some would say
for the better, for worse. Look, I'm excited for those kids. You don't get many chances at the high school level. It's a shortened season. Hopefully when February comes around and all the other teams, that can get going. We still have no idea. They have the plan out, but until it actually it happens and there's a ball that kicks off, I don't know. I've missed high school football. You don't really realize what the our end zone. We don't do an end zone. It's
I thought you were about to say you don't really realize what you got till it's
gone. Yeah, there you go.
Just keep going back to it.
Friday nights, I've been missing some high school football, so I'm excited for 8-man football to kick off Friday, and we'll enjoy covering those teams in our viewing area throughout the season.
Your Steelers look good, Tom.
They look really good. That defense might be. I can't get over the Steelers' defense.
It is swarming.
They're bigger. They're faster.
They're stronger.
I just don't know if that defense can beat the Ravens. I still think the Ravens are the team to beat in that division, and if the offense can pick it up a little bit, maybe. But I think the defense can win one game against the Ravens in the regular season.
How is your personal life going?
Brutal. Is this therapy, or what do we want to treat this as?
We're about out of time. I wanted to pepper you with some personal questions.
Nah, I've missed you guys. I'm glad that I've remembered how to do radio to a certain degree. Billy was actually nice. I third-wheeled Billy and his girlfriend Friday out in Farmville. It was a nice, lovely dinner.
That's great.
But yeah, my social life, Zach Maskovich, he's gone to Orlando. That happened right before the pandemic, so I don't really do much. I go to work, and that's pretty much it. I'm not complaining. That's just what life is right now. So I don't have family here, so...
Wow. Kind of sad.
Yeah.
You can come watch the game here Saturday.
You sure?
No, I don't know. Maybe I should talk to everybody. Well, Glenn's giving me a look. Maybe not.
Glenn gave,
Can Tyler zoom in while we watch the game, Glenn? Would that be any better? Or just no Feldman at all? Your mic's not on.
Hey, Glenn, your mic okay?
Prop him up on FaceTime, maybe.
Yeah.
He could just be on the desk.
Yeah. I mean, you let me know. Like, I saw someone was tweeting something probably hateful at me, Clip, but I had muted that person already, so I have no idea. Obviously,
I assume it was me.
Whoa,
well, I have no idea. I muted that person. That's what I've started to do. But that person, is that who it was?
You muted
You definitely have muted him.
Oh, yeah, because obviously there's something impacting his life, so I feel badly for him. But I've just, for a peace of mind, I've just started to mute people. So that's where I'm at right now.
I would love to hear how Redbeard got the way he is.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously angry, and I think a lot of people are on edge right now. I go running outside.
So condescending.
No, people are on edge right now. People are upset, frustrated, and I get it. It's just like, let's be nice to people.
I think
all right, Tom.
Redbeard does have some conflicting feelings at times.
Yeah, clearly something early on in his life impacted him, so I feel badly.
But
hopefully he's okay.
I think he's good people.
I'm sure.
I think he's all right. I think he's a good person.
All right.
Anything else, Tyler?
I appreciate you having me back on.
Thanks for coming, man.
Yeah, I know.
There was a rumor that you had been banned from Pirate Radio.
Yeah. I don't know who was spreading that, but
it was me.
It was intern Chandler. He raised his hand.
Chandler,
it was all of us actually. We all
Chandler. You've been an intern 4+ years. I saw. Like, when are they going to hire you? Like, holy cow.
Chandler does a lot of work around here.
Totally not up to me.
4 years as an intern? You've clearly you've done the work. You've done the dirty work.
I thought it was.
I think that's
2.5.
The great thing about America, all the free labor you can get from college interns, all the work you can get them to do
seriously
for nothing.
Yeah.
All right, Tyler, thanks for hanging out, man.
Clipper, great to be back. Glad to see you and everyone here are doing well.
All right, and I will extend another invitation to you very soon.
I appreciate that.
All right.
Can you come back to Wednesdays? I liked it when you came on Wednesdays. It was very scheduled, and I just knew that was what was going to happen at 3 o'clock on a Wednesday.
No, I hear you, Griff. I hear you, and I'm glad you're expressing that idea and thought to me personally, even though there's class separating us. My schedule at work is so unpredictable, though, so I'll let you know when I'm free, and then Clip can text me.
Wow.
And we can operate in that regard.
He essentially told us that, I'm sorry, I have to do my hair tonight.
No, I haven't showered in 2 days. I was nervous about this conversation. I was nervous about talking to you again, Griff, because it's been almost 9 months.
Boy, this takes me back. It usually went to Glenn and Tyler talking, and I would have to just throw it to break as you guys are talking to one another about nonsense.
Yeah.
So, like, this feels normal to me.
Right. This is the sports bar segment.
Yeah, I don't even remember what's normal.
We're back.
Shirley, play some music so we can get out of this segment and move on to the next one. Got the big man on canvas, Jeff Nadu, joining us next. Hey, Gardner Minshew's in action tonight, Feldman.
Who?
Minsh.
I love how Greenville acts like Minshew was like theirs.
Oh,
he was.
Oh, come on, man. You know,
cracks me up.
Everybody claims everybody that does something.
It cracks me
good.
up that ECU claims Minshew.
We fully claim Mike Trout, and he
Hold
never
on,
stepped
hold
one
on.
foot in
Hold
green.
on. No, hold on.
It's just
Shirley,
like,
Shirley.
how long was he a Pirate?
Cut the music.
He didn't even want to be here.
You and TV people do this too. I'm thinking of Alex Walker TV, but I'm sure you've done this too. Like when Bam Adebayo does something good, you tweet it out as if like you covered it all his games, so you can get the likes and retweets.
Well,
Eastern North Carolina's Bam.
Yeah, I
That's
do
our
that.
guy.
One, because there's no sports happening but the NBA. That's the only local tie. No one's coming to WITN Sports for their highlights of everything else. They can get that on any other national station. How does local TV separate itself? It's through local people.
Yes.
So that's why you focus on Bam and Todd Gurley on Sundays.
All I'm saying is, I just it always is kind of funny to me how ECU claims Minshew.
I don't see ECU claiming Minshew that much.
Pirate Nation, I think, claims Minshew to a certain degree.
Okay.
I'm not trying. I'm not trying to start stuff.
I claim everybody in the Western Hemisphere.
Okay, that's smart.
That's where
that's where I don't claim anyone, and maybe that's my problem.
Oh, Wayne Gretzky, he's from my continent.
Oh, Canada, glorious and free.
All right, now you can do the music, Shirley. We are coming back after this to talk football. How about Mike Golic coming up in hour 3?
Fantastic.
Looking forward to that. Stephen Igoe got some big news in
Just
hour
as fantastic.
4. Yes, sir. See you, Tyler.
Bye.
We'll be back after this.
It's a story that started in a community like ours. Cal Cunningham grew up in Lexington, where church youth groups working at the local brickyard and McDonald's shaped his life. And now Cal's running a different kind of campaign for the U.S. Senate.
I'm Cal Cunningham. I want my service in the U.S. Senate to be about listening and going places where Democrats don't always go. That's what I learned growing up in Lexington, where we don't check voter registration before taking care of our neighbors. We believe in hard work and service, just like the soldiers I served with overseas.
Cal Cunningham volunteered after 9/11, a lieutenant colonel in the Army Reserve who served 3 tours and took on corrupt government contractors. And Cal will take on the corruption in Washington that's been rigging the system for the drug and insurance companies. That's why Cal's not taking corporate PAC money, because he believes the top 1% don't need more favors. It's regular folks who need a voice. He'll be a senator on our side.
I'm Cal Cunningham, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Cal for NC.
Hey, this is Chef David Finelli from Pop's Old Fashioned Cheeseburgers. Today I'm going to tell you about our family meal deals for 4 hungry adults. We offer Finelli's Cafe lasagna, chicken parmesan, eggplant parmesan, spaghetti and meatballs, our hamburger steak and gravy with mashed potatoes, pork chops. If you'd like to order, please go to our Pop's Old Fashioned Cheeseburgers Facebook page or our website. Choose your meal, order online, pay online, roll up, and we'll get it right out to your car. Thank you from the Pops crew.
Weekdays are a great time to visit North Carolina State Parks. The best time to learn about nature is to be able to look, listen, and feel its natural beauty. A visit to the North Carolina State Parks is perfect for homeschoolers, scout groups, and teachers looking for a fun field trip during the week. You'll be amazed at all the natural wildlife you'll see when you experience the beauty of each North Carolina State Park. Visit ncparks.gov to get all the information on the closest park near you.
University PC Care has been the Pirate Nation's go-to IT expert since 2006. Your office deserves a proactive tech support approach instead of always reacting to issues after the damage is done. You need BizCare. BizCare tech support and cybersecurity plans keep you ahead of potential issues and much safer from cyber threats like ransomware. What's at your office? Call William today to schedule your free BizCare consultation or learn more at universitypccare.com.
It's bow time.
Years from now, you'll tell your grandkids. Back in my day, we could get 2 Bojangle sausage biscuits for just $2.50. And those biscuits, shoot, they were always made from scratch. And that zesty sausage, sizzling like the summer of 2033. Then your grandkids will say, wow, 2020 sounds amazing. And you'll say, not really. But those biscuits were. Get 2 sausage biscuits for just $2.50.
It's bow time.
Let us help you get back to business.
This is Donald Stocks
and Justin Judge of PIP of Eastern North Carolina.
We're ready to assist your business with branded PPE. Would you like face masks with your logo? We can do that, plus custom social distancing signage.
Now is the time to ramp up your marketing efforts. Whether it's cutting edge, contactless, touchless marketing, or traditional direct mail, we can do it all.
We are PIP of Eastern North Carolina.
Great food, great atmosphere, and great service is Atavola Market Cafe. Atavola is simply a restaurant that focuses on that, being a great restaurant. There's something for everyone at Atavola. The menu offers a variety of great choices like pastas, pizzas, sandwiches, soups, salads, and seasonal rotating selections. Lunch or dinner, Atavola is always the right call. Call ahead and get Atavola to go, or stop by the bar for a drink with friends. It's simple. Come and eat at Atavola Market Cafe, Red Banks Road next to Food Lion, and AtavolaMarket.com. Atavola, pirates supporting pirates.
This is Marcus Crandall, former ECU Pirate and Grey Cup champion. And you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Well, welcome back. Grab your amigos and head to Chico's for the best Mexican food and fun in Greenville. Come and enjoy favorites like shrimp tacos, steak and chicken fajitas, burritos, enchiladas, ACP, and more. Follow Chico's on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates. And for Mexican food and fun, it's got to be Chico's for dine-in or to go. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
All right, back with you on Pirate Radio Live on a Thursday, sifting through some of the Facebook Live comments. Will said, Feldman looks like a preview of what the student section will look like at Duke basketball games. Pretty good. Craig said, Clip looks like he is wearing Sex Panther. Now, that is a reference to Anchorman, I believe. But is it a real thing? Because on Amazon, you can buy a bottle of Sex Panther for $35. I thought it was a fictional thing, but apparently you really can. Maybe it's a gag, a joke. Maybe it's just an empty bottle. It says Sex Panther cologne spray for men. Clean, sensual, and refreshing juniper and lavender musk. Not made with bits of real panther.
Okay.
Officially licensed from Anchorman and Anchorman 2.
Huh.
There you go. All right.
Interesting.
Might have to try some of that, Craig. All right. Anthony said, that's Tony Dunn, Anthony Dunn. We don't claim Minshew, we identify with Minshew. I guess we being the everyman, the cut-off sleeve, mustache-wearing, headband-wearing, jean shorts-wearing man. I don't know. Shirley Rhodes hat update. Cool Seattle Storm hat.
Yep.
That is the logo, right?
Yep. Game 2 is tonight in the semifinals, I should say. They are playing the Minnesota Lynx. Storm have a 1-0 lead. So
all right.
Pulling for the Storm.
And a lot of action going on tonight. We'll talk about it now, including NFL on Pirate Radio with the Jags and Shirley's Dolphins. And let's talk about that game and more with the BMOC, the big man on campus, Jeff Nadu from Barstool Sports. Joins us on the Fixed NC Live line. Jeff, how you doing, man?
Doing well, Clip. How are you?
Hey, doing good. Getting ready for Thursday night football. We've seen a couple of fun Thursday night games. Both have gone over, and hopefully we get some offense tonight. And Jeff, saw your blog on Barstool Sports, and not to give out spoilers because we want people to go read that. It's linked on Jeff's Twitter at JeffNADU. And Jeff, I enjoyed that read. It was an entertaining read, and you got a pick in there. But you think, let's just say you think Jacksonville's offense continues to put up numbers with Gardner Minshew at the helm tonight.
Yeah, I mean, they've had no problem doing so this year. I mean, I know it's only been 2 games, but, 27, 30 points in 2 of these games. Gardner Minshew Clip's been very good. From a passer rating standpoint, he's 8th in the NFL, which wasn't something that I thought I'd see. I think a lot of people thought that the Jacksonville Jaguars are just going to kind of tank this season. They got rid of everyone defensively. They have a receiver core that didn't look great. But, all of a sudden you have some guys, and they're going to be without DJ Chark tonight, but I'm willing to think Keenan Cole, LaVisca Chenault, Chris Conley, D.D. Westbrook, those guys kind of pick up the slack. And how about this kid James Robinson? He's been very good in the backfield for them. So when you look at Miami, I think you can make the case they've been one of the worst defenses in the league so far. They can't stop the run. They can't stop the pass. They're going to be with their own injuries tonight with Byron Jones out, which is a big loss. I watched a lot of the tape last week in that Bills game, and they got burned a lot. And with Gardner Minshew's, I think, ability to throw the ball down the field and create plays, I think they do some good things from a scoring perspective tonight. I don't think the Jags -3 is a terrible play, but when you look at the total and the side in this game, a lot of public money coming in. I kind of went another way with it.
Big man on campus, Jeff Nadu, joining us. Jeff, I'm going to go with the player prop, one of my old favorite Redskins that is an electric player when healthy and can catch the ball out of the backfield. Chris Thompson over 2 catches. It's just a matter of how many times is he on the field on third down. He's had 2 and 3 catches, I think, in the first 2 games for Jacksonville, and hoping he gets involved in the offense tonight a little bit. All he needs is 3 catches. It's a winner. I'm going to roll with that tonight.
Yeah, he did a nice job. I mean, he has 5 catches on the season so far in just 2 games. This isn't a guy that plays a whole lot, but, with kind of a question mark at, where, up until recently what DJ Chark was going to do.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think that the backfield could be a little bit more important. Obviously, Tyler Eifert could be someone that's involved as well in this offense. But, yeah, I think out of the backfield, I don't hate that play. You know a lot about him, obviously, being at Washington. But, still, even with James Robinson and how good the kid out of Illinois State was the other night, I mean, there's still kind of a question mark in the backfield there. So, I think we could see him coming out of the backfield, maybe an HB wheel or something, a screen or something. Yeah, I like it.
College game tonight, big man. UAB is at South Alabama. We've seen a lot of USA. South Alabama is finally more and more teams are starting to play college football, the SEC this weekend, but South Alabama's been featured a couple of times. UAB has been in a spotlight game with Miami as well. The Blazers 7-point favorites tonight, total 47.5. You doing anything with this college game tonight?
Yeah, this is a game where you have 2 teams that have been featured on standalone games in every game. We remember back to the beginning of the season with UAB and Central Arkansas, but yeah, this is a tough one. I didn't have much on this game. I think you can make a case for both sides here. Both teams are playing with a backup quarterback, but again, that's not the end of the world for these 2 teams. Both teams have pretty solid backup quarterbacks. I feel like if I liked anything here, it was UAB. I just think they're a better team. They had no trouble last year with South Alabama, but it seems like this year the Jaguars a little bit more resurgent. But I'll tell you right now, I like this kid, Bryson Lucero, the quarterback for UAB. I think he could just do a little bit more than Tyler Johnston can. We know they have Spencer Brown who can run the football. I felt like if this got down to 6.5, I'd have a little bit more interest. But I also feel like resurgence has come to South Alabama. It could be a close one. I couldn't decide on this one. I kind of just avoided it. I'm ready for Saturday.
Yes, sir. And on Saturday, we'll be with you 8 a.m. right here on Pirate Radio on the Bud Light pregame tailgate. The big man going to be a part of that show as we'll talk some college football for a few minutes in the 11 o'clock hour with Jeff Nadu on the Bud Light pregame tailgate, getting you set for the noon kickoff between ECU and UCF. Looks like the line is settled in at 27, Jeff. When we talked on Monday, you got the over in, I want to say, in what, the low mid 70s. That is kind of settled in right now at 77. So you always talk about getting the best number. You went over early in the week, and it looks like you're going to get the best possible number on that.
Yeah, I mean, the key to sports betting is, I think, kind of separating yourself from someone that just does it as a hobby or for fun. The goal for me is 2-faceted. You want to get the best number, and you want to hit the bet. And in this case, I definitely did that. 72.5 is the premier number, so I'm very happy about that. But for me in this one, I think UCF, like I said on Monday, I think they should push 50 in this game. Their offense is terrific. The pace that they play with is just on another level. And look, I think you know this. The entire listening group knows this. East Carolina is a team that's going to struggle in games like this. Look, they struggled last year in games like this, but I look at their offense and I say to myself, I think we see something from them this year. I think Holton Ahlers obviously takes another step. You have a pretty good run game. You and I have talked in the past about ECU's receivers. With guys like C.J. Johnson and Prohl, these are guys that can move the football. They can make plays, and we just know the pace is going to be there. I think in this game there's going to be some garbage time in the fourth quarter. A lot of that is prevent defense from teams. I think we see a lot of that in this game. It kind of comes across to me as like 54-21, 54-27, something like that. I think this game pushes 80. I'm very happy with the number I got.
Jeff, let me ask you about a couple of games this weekend, and I'll call it a bounce-back opportunity for Oklahoma State. They did not look good against Tulsa, and, you pick up the win, you're okay, but they expected a lot better things in Stillwater than they saw last weekend. They got West Virginia at home, a 7-point favorite, 51.5 total. And how about Iowa State, losing a couple weeks ago? They are on the road, 2.5-point favorites at TCU. This will be Gary Patterson's team's first game. So Iowa State, Oklahoma State, going into the year with expectations and did not look good in their first outings. What do you think about those two teams in particular in those matchups?
Well, yeah, you mentioned Oklahoma State, West Virginia. This is a tough game. I mean, you're coming off a game where you really struggled if you're Oklahoma State, and there was a lot of pressure on them coming into the season. I think a lot of people thought this was a group that could challenge, maybe even in the country, to be one of those kind of sleeper groups. I don't know what was up with their offense last week. They had injuries, though. I mean, Spencer Sanders, Chuba Hubbard, Tylan Wallace didn't look real good. What's his status, Spencer Sanders, in this game? If he doesn't play, I'm blown away at this number. You look at West Virginia; they have kind of that typical West Virginia quarterback. The Clint Trickett type, Jared Doge, comes over from Bowling Green. I remember he played at Bowling Green. Gunslinger, big arm, can throw the ball in the run. He's not afraid to make a tough pass. I like the kid. Obviously, I don't put a lot of stock in what he did against Eastern Kentucky, but we know in that offense, whether Dana Holgerson's there or not, they're going to throw the football. They're going to get their big time receivers involved. We always know they probably have a Kevin White brother or someone like that along the line where they're going to come in and do some good things. I don't understand this number. Even fully healthy, I think this game comes down to the wire. I don't think that Oklahoma's defense is any good. I think West Virginia is going to be a tough nut to crack in this game. Give me the Mountaineers.
All right, there you go. I want to ask you about some NFL before we move on. Anything else in college football you got an eye on for Saturday, Jeff?
Yeah, I think
you mentioned Texas, by the way, earlier this week. I should bring that up. Texas.
I think Texas is interesting. Texas Tech got destroyed by Houston Baptist the other week. I think Texas is kind of a different team this year defensively. I think that Shane Bouchard, I might kind of isolate maybe a team total from Texas where I don't have to worry about covering points. But one group that I had my eye on this week is Army. They're off of a bye week, which I think is interesting here. You're getting Cincinnati in. They played last week. They didn't play anyone of note, but this is a group in Army that has been very good getting double digits. You look at last season, they did some good things against Michigan. Remember a couple years ago against Oklahoma? When they go on the road or in any situation as a double-digit underdog, they usually play well. My concern here, though, Clip, is Army they don't have Ahmad Bradshaw, the 4-year quarterback. They have a new quarterback. So I think this is interesting. Cincinnati is tough. They're rugged. Luke Fickell, he's always looking ahead. I have a feeling that they spent a lot of last week getting prepared for the Army here. I think this is a knockdown, drag-out, tough game, and it's hard to lay 14 here. But I'll tell you this, if this number comes down, I think this is simply a case of if you're getting 13.5, I would lay the points. If it's 14 or above, I would take the points. I have a weird feeling this game's going to be 28-14, 35-21, where it's going to truly come down to the last couple of drives. And I have some worries about Army's quarterback. It's a road game, their first road game. The first 2 games are against Total Cupcakes in Middle Tennessee and UL Monroe. This is a real game on the road in a really tough place to play, no matter what their fans are there or not. Cincinnati's good. They have a solid quarterback. this worries me if I'm Army. A new quarterback, how's he going to handle this?
Big man on campus, Jeff Nadu, joining us from Barstool Sports. Let's dive into some NFL. Jeff, talk me out of this. I went on. I talked yesterday about how just disgusting and despicable the Falcons are, and then I look at that line against the Bears, and I want to go right back to the Falcons and take them -3. And my thought is, if DeAndre Swift catches the ball week 1, or if the Giants punch it in last week, I mean, the Bears are, and I know those things didn't happen. I'm doing hypotheticals now, not reality, but are the Bears 3-point underdogs if they come in here 0-2? If the Falcons win last week like they should have, or are the Falcons only 3-point favorites? I don't know. I guess it's more of a play against the Bears than it is the Falcons, but I know I'm not the only person that just can't quit the Falcons, even though our eyeballs are telling us to.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much out on them. I was out on them after week 1. I think with them, I think the only bet you could make is the total. I don't have any interest in backing the Atlanta Falcons to cover, to do anything at the level that I think they can, because I got a lot of shtick from Dave Portnoy last week on the streams, and even this week about my thought that Dan Quinn should have been fired on Monday. And he said to me, what did Dan Quinn do to lose that game? And that would be an astute point. But at the end of the day, Clip, how long do you put up with this constant blowing leads from the Atlanta Falcons? I mean, it's constant. I mean, this team just can't ever hold the lead. It's always something, and it's always them doing it. Sometimes you just got to admit something just doesn't work. And I got a feeling Dan Quinn's going to be fired sooner rather than later. I think the over has some value here if I'm going to play this game, but this wasn't one that led my drawing board as far as that. But I think you make a good point. The margins are small in the NFL, and it's every good win's a win in the National Football League, no matter who you play. Andy Reid always said that. But the Bears could be 0-2. The thing is, they're not.
Yeah.
You need things to go your way in the NFL, and they haven't had those happen. But if you ask me to pick a side here, I'd probably take Atlanta, but I won't be betting my hard-earned money on them.
Right. Big man, what about, how many points is too many in the NFL against a banged-up team? I ask that because the Colts, I see now, are 11.5-point favorites against the Jets. I saw today where, and look, even that full strength, the Jets are not a world beater, but they're going to be without a ton of starters at the skill positions coming up when they go to Indy, and I can't lay this many points, I don't think, with Phillip Rivers, but good grief, Jeff, the Jets have nothing. And we saw, how many 49ers got hurt in that game last week, and they still rolled them easily. So, I don't know, man. Maybe a teaser or something here with the Colts. I just can't see any scenario where the Jets go in and win that game.
Yeah, I mean, this is I actually had the Jets last week, I'm not going to lie. I thought, with as banged up as San Francisco was, coming to the East Coast. But, yeah, the Jets have pretty much laid down. I think you make the case that they are the worst team in the league right now. But, Clip, here's my issue with Indy. I thought they would roll over the Jacksonville Jaguars. And, they didn't. So, I think at the end of the day, the problem with the Colts is, they just, sadly, Andrew Luck retired. It sucks. I mean, they've kind of hit on quarterbacks, but not really. You don't really ever have any reason to think that they're any good there. I think Phillip Rivers has showed that he's 40, whatever he is. I don't think defensively they're frankly very good, but you mentioned it. I mean, the Jets are bad. Colts have been very good though against at home as a home favorite against the number. Last couple of seasons they've been pretty good in that role. So. Do I want to lay it? I get your point. As you said, I think it's a better teaser opportunity. I have no interest in laying anything double digits. But, yeah, if it's, 5, then I have a lot more interest. But they don't lay double-digit points very often. With that defense, with the inexplicable quarterback play at times, I'm going to pass. I have a weird feeling this game's like 27-14, and you're kind of struggling. I don't think the Colts have the ability to win 38-10. I just don't. And
that Rivers interception is coming at some point in that game. All right, so what do you like on Sunday, Jeff? What's a play or two that you're interested in?
Well, for me, I think there's some totals that I have some interest in. You look at the Lions and the Arizona Cardinals. This is a game that was 54.5 at open. It's slightly ticked up to 55. You hear a lot of the time clip. You've heard it this week with Dallas and Seattle. Anytime someone tries to tell you what you should bet, they always make it a point in games like this to say, this is a high total. It is a high total, but when you look at NFL totals, there's a ceiling as to where a total can go. It's rare that you will ever see anything over 56.5. And sometimes, Clip, they have to put totals places where they just have to put them there.
Yeah.
You'll never see a total in the NFL at 63 or 65. It's just not going to happen. And when I look at this game, I think it's pretty clear at this point, just through 2 games, that the Detroit Lions aren't very good defensively. Okuda hasn't necessarily been what we thought he'd be just yet. The pass rush hasn't necessarily been there. And you look at offensively, you're going to get Kenny Golladay back this week. The offense can score points. I'm willing to think they can get to the mid-high 20s here. But you look at Arizona, I mean, they've had no problem moving the ball. I don't trust their defense either. And when you look at pace, which if you're looking at totals and you're not looking at pace, I don't really know what you're doing. You have to look at pace. These 2 teams are top 8 in pace. Arizona, one of the quicker teams. Detroit's very good as well from a pace standpoint. We're on turf. We're inside. No weather issues here. I think this is a fun game. Back and forth. 2 quarterbacks. They're going to air it out. I like the over here.
Now that you bring up those numbers, Jeff, I was kind of browsing through, and, tonight, 48.5, almost hitting that 50 mark. Tennessee, Minnesota, 49.5, just under 50. You got the one you just mentioned there, 55 with Cardinals, Lions. 56 for Cowboys, Seahawks, and then Sunday night, Monday night are north of 50. 52.5 Packers, Saints, 54.5 Lamar and Mahomes Monday night. I don't know, Jeff, is this like the highest totals we've seen in an NFL slate ever? I mean, these are some huge numbers for these games.
Yeah, I mean, this is where the NFL has gone the last couple of years. I mean, you look at, there are 16 teams right now that are averaging 22 points or more per game. So, I mean, we're only 2 games in.
Yeah.
Those were numbers last year. You look at this year, as far as so far, I mean, if you take out the, Jets and a couple other teams, I mean, there's been no issue with scoring the football. Defensively, there's a lot of injuries. Teams are struggling. I mean, you look at a total here, Eagles, Bengals. Look, I've lamented on the Eagles. I mean, the Sharps are pounding the Bengals. I mean, no one wants to lay points with the Eagles, and I don't blame them. Defensively, they're not good, and offensively, I think they're a team that can get into the 20s. The Bengals up-tempo with Burrow. He seems like he's got no problem throwing the ball 60 times. I think the passing play percentage is up. Teams aren't necessarily running the ball as much. It's only going to continue. There's offense abound in every sport, whether it's basketball, baseball, football. People like to see offense.
Big man on campus, Jeff Nadu. One team that cannot put the ball in the end zone is the Washington football team. They play Cleveland this week, and they are really struggling on the offensive side. Hopefully their defense can force a few turnovers on Baker. Big man, what are your plans for Sunday? We saw you on the stream in the gambling house in Philly last week. Any plans this weekend?
Yeah, as far as I know, I'm probably going to be there Sunday again. I got to figure I'm going to be doing NFL stuff. I will kind of have that all figured out here in a bit.
All right.
I'll be doing vlogs. I'll have something out tomorrow for college football. I'm probably going to do some sort of video where I just kind of run through each game and give my thoughts. We'll have picks. I did one college last week. We'll have something this week. Just kind of follow me on Twitter. All this stuff will go out. Make sure you check out my blog today on Dolphins, Jags. We'll have some fun. We'll find some angles here.
Yeah, entertaining read it was, and also a pick in there as well. Jeff, thanks for joining us, man. We'll talk to you Saturday morning for a few minutes and run down the college slate one more time with you.
Sounds good. Look forward to it.
BMOC, Jeff Nadu from Barstool Sports joining us here on Pirate Radio Live. Jeff will be a part of the Bud Light pregame tailgate. We'll visit with him in the final hour of the show and just kind of setting up that show. Remember, bright and early, 8 a.m., we'll be with you. The voice of the Pirates, Jeff Charles, will be with us in hour number 1. We'll get his thoughts on the game. He'll also talk to the color analyst of the UCF Knights, Gary Paris, coming up in the 8 o'clock hour, bright and early Saturday morning. In the 9 o'clock hour, we'll visit with Brian Bailey. Double B will be here with me inside the Pirate Radio studios, and we'll talk to BB. We'll talk to another angle from UCF coming up as Zach Maskovich's boss over at Wesh in Orlando will join us on the show to talk about the Knights and what they have to offer for the game on Saturday. In the 10 o'clock hour, Stephen Igoe, Ronnie Woodward will be here. And in the 11 o'clock hour, we'll go out to Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium, talk to Troy D., Billy Weaver, Brian North, and also the big man on campus, Jeff Nadu, to talk some gambling and the rest of the slate for a pretty packed Saturday in college football. Again, the SEC is returning to play, so a lot of games there. ACC, Shirley, knocking on my big wood table here. This is the first day this week we have not had a game postponed for this Saturday.
As of right now, that is correct.
And again, I'll continue to knock, but that is good news. We're about to head to break and head into hour 2. Anything on the Shirley Rhodes news desk today, Shirley? Kind of a quiet day.
It's been relatively quiet, so nothing, really out of the ordinary today. So I'm still monitoring, the relative Twitterverse, but as of right now, nothing.
Good news. Chandler, we'll get you on the final minute of hour 1. What are your birthday plans?
Let's see. Well, I'm going to finish up work here, and then I'm going to go home, get ready, and then me and my roommates are going to go to Sapari. And if nobody knows where that's at, it's in the Steinmart Shopping Center on Fire Tower Road?
No.
Yeah. Red Banks Road. Excuse me. And then probably hit up some of the breweries down here, downtown Greenville.
All right.
And then I got a fire pit back at the house. Probably go back there, enjoy a fire, some ice cold pirate beverages, adult beverages.
Nice.
And then probably go to bed.
All right. That is a full birthday plan there.
Yeah.
All right. Good stuff for Chan Man, who is doing a great job with the video production on today's edition of Pirate Radio Live. Let's take a time out, come back. Stephen Igoe is in the green room. We got a lot of ECU UCF to break down. We've got a lot of fantasy football start-sit questions for week 3. And we've also got some college football picks to make. We'll do all of that in hour number 2 of today's edition of Pirate Radio Live. We're back with you after this.
Hello, Pirate Nation. This is Representative John Bell, the Majority Leader of the North Carolina House, and it has been an honor serving the people of Eastern North Carolina the last 8 years. I've had the privilege of working with your local representatives, Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey, as they delivered hundreds of millions of dollars in COVID relief funding to our small businesses, healthcare providers, and families right here in Pitt County. Unfortunately, their opponents are funded by radical liberal out-of-state donors that want to destroy our agriculture heritage, defund the police, and silence your voice by buying this election. This is not North Carolina. We cannot and will not let this happen. Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey are focused on solutions, not revolutions. They will make sure your voice is heard and represent our Eastern North Carolina values. So Pirate Nation, the choice is clear. On November 3rd, please support and vote for Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey for the North Carolina House. Strong voices for Eastern North Carolina. Paid for by the John Bell Committee.
Hey, Dad, what's for dinner?
How about CPW's?
Is that the restaurant with the really good lasagna?
It sure is.
Is that the place we got the awesome meat pizza?
Yep, that's the place. Should we do dine-in or take out?
I'm tired of eating it. Let's go there!
Just say no to cooking tonight and bring the family, or make it a date night at CPW's. CPW's is open daily at 3 p.m. and has been serving the Greenville community since 1995. CPW's in the Food Line Shopping Center near the hospital.
At US Cellular, we speak fair. When we say you don't have to pay activation fees, we mean it. Plus, right now when you switch, you also get $700 toward the latest phones. Yep, we mean that too. Upgrade to fair with US Cellular. Promotional pricing requires an unlimited everyday or even better plan. New line port and credit approval. Qualified smartphone purchase and comes via monthly bill credit on a 30-month RIC. Taxes, fees, and additional restrictions apply.
Does the idea of going to your local U.S. Cellular store make you feel a bit uncomfortable? Tired of the hassle of waiting and wearing a mask? Let Toby Williams and his outside sales team take away that worry. They will come right to your home or office and drop your phone off on the porch or at the front desk for you. Saving you time and worry is what the team at Cellular Warehouse is all about. Call Toby today at 252-799-7051 and let them help you with all of your wireless needs. Cellular Warehouse, your local U.S. Cellular authorized agent.
Ahoy, mateys! To keep those cars clean, you need the Pirates Cove Fast Pass.
The new Pirates Cove Car Wash and Haviland Express Lube on Glen Burnie Road in New Bern is now open. Pirates Cove is now offering Fast Passes for $9.99 for new Fast Pass customers. These Fast Passes are good in New Bern and at all 3 Greenville locations. Visit us in Greenville on Fire Tower Road, Memorial Drive, and on East 10th Street. And now in New Bern on Glen Burnie Road.
So we have you surrounded. Pirates Cove, the official car wash partner of ECU Athletics.
UBE and PirateWear.com are proud to offer the Pirate Nation its largest inventory ever. Brand new Adidas is arriving daily, along with Under Armour, Columbia, and Russell Athletic. UBE is loaded with cargo, and new items are being added daily to PirateWear.com. Be sure to check out our children's store, The Crow's Nest, for all of your young pirates. UBE and PirateWear.com, an ECU tradition for 50 years. Go Pirates!
Warren's Hot Dog Pizza, homemade lemonade.
Hey, Pirate Nation, Warren's Hot Dogs, 2 locations are open for business in Greenville and Chocowinity. Both locations have drive-through windows, so stop by today for hot dogs, pizzas, subs, apple and peach turnovers, homemade lemonade, and breakfast in Chocowinity, featuring homemade cheese, ham, and chicken biscuits, plus sausage dogs and more. Warren's in Greenville, across from Ron Ayers Motorsports, and in Chocowinity, next to the fire department. Warren's Hot Dogs. Want some? Get some.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, W224EI Greenville, WDLX Washington, and W281CH Washington. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by University PC Care, your local tech support experts for all your business needs. Let University PC Care take care of it so you can take care of business. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. Now, back to the show.
With approximately 100 locations throughout the Carolinas, First National Bank is helping both individuals and businesses redefine convenience in banking. Visit us today at fnb-online.com. First National Bank, member FDIC. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Rock.
Alrighty, hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Coming up at hour number 3 of today's show, Troy D will be here in the Pirate Radio studios. We'll be talking to Mike Golic. So looking forward to catching up with Golic. In hour number 3, he'll be on the call with Dave Pash this Saturday when the Pirates take on the Knights of UCF at noon at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium. Stephen Igoe hoists the colors. Couple days away from kickoff, Igoe. No more position previews or guys to watch or, just grasping for straws at things to write about. We got an actual football game coming up. That's got to be exciting for you.
Yeah, this has been the longest preseason ever.
Literally.
Ever. I mean, I remember going out in June and taking pictures of the guys during voluntary workouts. That was ironically the last time I was allowed out there. But, man, that seems like it was 2 years ago now. And it's just so glad that it's actually here. We're 2 days out. It appears that we will make it to game day. I heard you and Shirley talking earlier. Nothing's been canceled yet. I did note in John Gilbert's letter from the helm that he wrote in his opening sentence, we are scheduled to play football Saturday, so I'm I'll still be nervous until I show up at 11 o'clock and the players are on the field warming up, but all signs pointing to we're going to play, barring something crazy happening, so I can't wait.
When I think about what I want to see, things I'm interested to see on Saturday from East Carolina, I keep going back to the running backs, and I'll play the cut from Donnie Kirkpatrick where I asked him about the plan for running backs on Saturday. Cut 5, Shirley, from Donnie K. And, who are we going to see and how are the carries going to be split and what will the backfield look like? Here was Donnie Kirkpatrick's response to that.
Well, it's a good problem to have. It can be a problem, I guess, in that, there's only one ball. and everybody, wants it. And the more you get it, sometimes you do get into that flow of things. So we've had multiple discussions. We have not made any final decisions. We're really big in Coach Houston's system of every day you have to come and earn your job, and you get what you earn. And so we do want the competition really to keep going every day. And then, there's injuries and there's different things like that affect those things too. But what I do think we'll do is we'll try to probably get 3 of them in some kind of a rotation early. And then, like you said, whoever's seeming to have the most success, you'll ride him, but not to the point where you'll wear him out. It'll take 4 quarters for us to win this game. One of the big keys to the game, we think, for us is to stay in the fight. We need to make it go the full rounds. And so we do want to keep some guys fresh, and that's the advantage of having 3-4 different guys. Some of it will get dictated by what plays we end up running. You're going into the first game especially, your game plan's a little larger usually the first game than it might be later in the season, because you still really are trying to figure out, who we are, what we're good at, what's going to work. And these backs, a couple of them are alike, a bunch of them are different. Some of them are better at this, some of them are better at that. So maybe what runs are working will dictate who gets in, because he's better at these plays. How much you're throwing the ball, that will determine it a little bit too. How much they're blitzing. If it's a big blitz game, you're gonna have to put your guy in there that can protect. And or if the routes to the backs are going, the guys are the better receivers. So there's a lot of things play out through it. But we're having discussions. It's just impossible to actually say, well, this is, it's not like a preseason exhibition game in the NFL where you're going to say, we're going to get this guy 4 carries here in the first quarter and this guy 5. You can't plan it out like that because you don't know how the game's going to be.
A long answer from Donnie Kirkpatrick, but didn't really clear up any questions I had as far as personnel and the distribution thing he talked about. You can't really predict that. It's game flow. It's all that. It's what's the defense doing, what your offense is doing. But still a lot of questions, Igoe, as far as who's going to be back there. And he did say he wanted to go with, 3 guys, it sounded like.
Yeah.
And kind of go from there. Who's having the best game? What are the situations? So still, I'm fascinated to see what happens in the backfield for the Pirates on Saturday.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest things I'm looking forward to seeing. Who gets to go out there first? We were just talking, maybe they come out in a 2-back set with Hayden and Penix somewhere in the backfield. Maybe, there's been a lot of talk about Penix doing some different things, so maybe Penix is lined up as an H-back or kind of in a tight end set or just moved around a little bit in the slot. So I don't know. That's something I'm eager to see. I think the 3 backs we'll see the most of are Penix, Najee Harris, and Hayden, yeah. I don't think Trace Christian right now is up there with the rest of them. But
Harris as a true freshman.
Yeah, I think the staff really loves him from what I've heard. Big guy, great feet, so he's probably the player I'm looking forward to seeing the most outside of some of the defensive linemen on Saturday. So really, and I think too, it's clear from the coach's answers that there hasn't really been any true separation, or they don't want to announce any true separation. So I think it truly, the carries will be dictated by who's performing well in the game.
Guy I wanted to ask about yesterday, but I guess I was keeping you guys too long in the Zoom. It was like my first Zoom, and everybody was ready to go.
Well, we hadn't talked to Donnie in like 7 years.
I know.
So we honestly could have gone for about an hour.
I know. And
but I just try to keep it reasonable.
A guy that I hope doesn't get lost in the shuffle here or finds himself in some type of doghouse. And the only reason I'm bringing that up is because I asked Mike Houston about Josiah Hatfield months and months ago.
I say Josiah Hatfield.
And he said, he's got to work on some things and get right and, all that. And I think he's such a talented player to the point where they were, creating different ways and plays to get him the ball last year, to get him some touches, at least 2 or 3 a game, and let him do something with it. And I hope he's still a factor this year, Igoe. But, again, we haven't been out of practice. We haven't talked to players. We barely have talked to Donnie. So, who knows? He might be a big factor Saturday. But seems like he's, I don't know, maybe been the forgotten man on the offense this offseason.
And maybe that speaks to the offensive talent, because I thought he was one of the more dynamic players last year. And I do think, with the young guys, if there's a guy that needs to clean up some things, you're not going to see the coaches publicize those players as much, just because they want to continue to push them. So I don't know if Josiah falls in that category or not, but I do know that he missed the start of camp with some stuff, and we know that can have a fact or play a factor as well. So, but if he's fifth or sixth as far as offensive options, you got to feel pretty good about your offense.
That's a good thing.
I mean, if you're talking about Tyler Snead, it seems like Omatosho has gone into that top four at the wide receiver position. Then you got the running backs, you got the tight ends. So, I mean, he might be seventh or eighth going into the game as far as options. But, I mean, all it takes with a guy with that type of speed is 3 to 4 touches, and he can make something happen. And you remember Donnie last year said we got to find a way to get him the ball more as the season went along. So, I don't think they've forgotten about him. It'll just be interesting to see how he kind of fits into their plans.
Shirley Cut 7 asked Donnie Kirkpatrick if there's separation between the top tight end, which on the depth chart is Jeremy Lewis, although there might be an or.
There's an or
with Lewis and Calhoun, and then Bird is the third, and that's the word. And here's what Donnie Kirkpatrick had to say about the tight ends.
Well, we got 3 really high quality, I think, tight ends. Jeremy Lewis, who showed some signs last year, had some injury nagging type deals, and kept him out some a little bit. Shane Calhoun has come in, and we thought he'd be good in time. I know I will admit that I never thought he'd be this good this early. I never thought he'd be able to handle it, mentally and physically. It's hard on a true freshman to do that. And this is a true freshman that didn't have spring practice. He wasn't a mid-year kid that came in and got practice. So I really think that Jeremy and Shane they've just had one guy this day, maybe the next guy that day, but really I don't even pay attention to which one's in there. I told Coach Mines it don't matter. You just roll them. Just make sure we got one of them in there. Zach got a little banged up. He got a concussion early, had a little bit of the deal with the COVID too, missed a lot more of the practices and got put back a little bit behind. He's rallied here late. And so I feel good about all 3 of them. Shane and Jeremy are very similar in what they do. Zach's a little different in the skills that he brings. So some of that would be determined by what we're doing, how we would play him.
All right, Donnie Kirkpatrick there talking about the tight ends. Boy, tough offseason for Zach Bird there. Concussion, a bit of the COVID, I believe, is how Donnie put that, and Jeremy Lewis. And rave reviews for Shane Calhoun as well, Igoe. And I don't know anything about this guy. What about his recruitment and what kind of player? He said he's similar to Jeremy. So what do you know, if anything, about Shane Calhoun?
He was probably third or fourth as far as my favorite guys in the class. Raji Harris was up there, a couple of the defensive linemen, but I loved his film because he was fluid for a big guy. He's not the biggest tight end in the world. He's about 6'2", 235, but he just seems like he's going to be one of those guys that's a matchup problem for linebackers and safeties. Too quick for linebackers, probably too powerful for safeties. He reminds me of a couple of the guys that used to be at USF. I can't remember the guy's name. He was this short, squatty tight end, but nobody could. I think it was Tyree McCants, and he was just a terror on the edge. And I could see ECU slotting him out and really using him in that type of role. And it sounds like, I knew he'd be able to come in and catch it, but it sounds like he's picked up the offense. He can block well. He's got Jeremy's fairly thin for a tight end. Shane's kind of got broad shoulders. He kind of looks more like a true tight end. And so it's not a surprise to me. I've kind of said since he enrolled that he has a chance to be the best all-around tight end in that position. It was just a matter of how quickly he acclimated. But I think Jeremy can be a matchup problem, too.
I mean, Lewis is a freak athlete, right? I mean, they brought him in to be a defensive end, play on a rush-in type of position. They switched him over to the offensive side of the ball. He used to just catch a lot of jump balls for South Central back in the day. So excited about these guys. I don't know how they're going to be utilized, Igoe, and what the base formation. I mean, I know ECU is going to run a lot of different formations, but how often will a tight end be on the field, do you think, for the Pirates?
Last year was a lot. I want to say 60% of the time they came out with at least one tight end. I don't know exact, but first and second down, I mean, they're usually and they usually have 11 personnel. One tight end, one back for the most part. So I mean, they'll go 12 personnel some, but 11 is really what they like to come in with 3 wide receivers as well. So you really want definitely 2 tight ends. You want 4, from what I understand, is what Mike Houston wants, which is why they wanted to bring in the Ryan Jones kid.
Oh, yeah.
But, you're happy with 3 compared to where it was when they first took the job in December of 2018. And, you just have more explosiveness with Jeremy and Shane. Zach is huge, but he's probably not quite the athlete that Jeremy and Shane are. But still, if you get 6'7", 270, which is just mind-boggling to say, at the tight end position in a one-on-one matchup, how can you not throw the ball up to him?
They got to have some plays around the goal line for Zach Bird this season. Was running over the depth chart a little bit with Jeff Charles yesterday, and it's still crazy to think, Igoe, that 2 of your defensive starters were in the tight end room, last year, a couple years ago, with McKinney and with Xavier Smith.
I mean,
it's maddening almost.
And it stinks from the standpoint they didn't really get that year of development they needed. They should have been D'Angelo McKinney should have been practicing at defensive tackle as a freshman. This nonsense, I remember, like it was crystal clear when Scotty Montgomery was like, "We found this guy, 6'4", 270, you can catch the football." I'm like, you need that guy on the defensive line. Like, what are you doing? And he didn't catch a pass all year. And then they moved Xavier Smith over, which I can somewhat understand because it was like midway through the season. They needed a tight end. But then, like, just taking McKinney, who was had some upside as a freshman, could have developed, and let's just put him in the tight end room and never use him. That's basically what they did.
I almost got Igoe on a soapbox. I know this is touchy for him. That's why I brought it up today. Get a little emotion going. Get the blood pumping a little bit. So I've focused on offense here the first 15 minutes.
That's what we need to focus on, right?
I mean,
defense, let's be honest.
I'm terrified.
It's going to be just like, go out there and pray.
Yeah.
Now, I've heard that the coaching staff feels good about their plan, but you got so many young guys, man.
Well, yesterday, Adam Gase, head coach of the Jets, said if they go out and execute the plays, then they'll be fine.
That's basically what it comes down to. But the problem is, even if you execute, UCF can just run right past you.
I agree. And do you think if the Jets and their roster goes out and execute plays, they're going to be fine? No, they're still going to lose every game.
Adam Gase sucks. I have more trust in Mike Houston than Adam Gase.
Well, absolutely. I'm not even making that comparison. I'm just saying, kind of piggybacking off you, if ECU lines up right, executes the play, they're still being out-athleted at a lot of positions against that Knights offense.
Yeah, that's the concern. I have major concern about the trenches on both sides of the ball. I think if they can give Holton time to survey the field offensively, it's going to be a big day for the offense. But, defensively, I just don't know. They talked a lot about stopping the run, which you have to do. But UCF was just, they're so good because they average like 260 or 250 yards rushing per game and like 300 yards passing. They have true elite balance. Like, it's not just we want to be balanced. Like, they're just dynamic in both aspects. So
they got a competent quarterback that knows what to run.
Yeah. And basically all their plays are RPOs, so he's going to read what the defense is doing. So if you load the box, he's going to pull it and throw it. If you don't have enough in the box, they're going to hand it off and hit some explosion plays. It's tough to find that balance to how to defend that. I just don't know if ECU has the personnel to defend it.
I don't know what's more sad, us talking about the Pirates' defense against UCF or Steve and Ben having a conversation about the Washington football team offense, because that is a sad state of affairs as well.
Why are they arguing about that on the Pirate Radio live feed?
I'm not sure, but they're talking Washington football team. We'll talk fantasy football in just a moment. Did you hear the Stanford Steve and the Bear cut I played earlier?
I heard the end of it.
Let's say that one more time, Shirley. This is from their podcast this week. Really enjoy listening to those guys on ESPN, and here's what they had to say.
UCF showed, plenty of press coverage. Georgia Tech just going to complete it. I think Holton Ahlers is going to be able to hit a lot on those deep balls. They did the same thing. What was it, last year against Cincinnati was the first one that was the heartbreaker? Mm-hmm. ECU, they lost a shootout there. I expect both quarterbacks to throw for a ton of yards in this game. I mentioned what UCF's going to do they almost play defense, like go ahead, try and take your shots. If you do hit these long 9 routes on the outside, we're getting the ball back. And you try and stop us. So they've taken that to full effect. And it's just going to be a fun one. This game might be over by 5 o'clock. What do you think?
Corso likes to joke about this is a pack of lunch. This is a pack of lunch and get ready for dinner type of game. Yeah, whatever the 3:30 kickoff is on ABC, whoever the producer is, and they either might want to slide that kick back quite a bit, or see about maybe kicking that game off on another network, because this is gonna take a while.
Yeah, I agree with everything they say, and so does everybody else, which means is there any chance that it goes completely against the grain? It's a 17-10 slugfest at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium.
About a 1% chance.
I mean, I just do not see any scenario where that happens.
The only chance that happens is if UCF comes out flat and ECU defensively just shows something that they're not expecting, which I could see maybe a slower start as far as scoring to the game. Based off this is ECU's first, similar to the Georgia Tech game. Both what was that 7-7 at the end of one? I could see that, and then it picking up afterwards. Which, if it does that, I think you like ECU's chances a lot more based on how good UCF has been in the first quarter historically.
I like Blake Harrell yesterday breaking down UCF's points and where they come from in the game from 2019, and talked about how they dominate first quarters, and then
they averaged 14.3 points in the first quarter last year.
Yeah, we're talking one quarter of football. They already got 2 touchdowns on the board, and he said that trend did not continue against Georgia Tech. They dominated the second quarter and the fourth quarter. I think they had 21 apiece in those quarters that game, something like that. So, again, I guess the message they're passing around, because we've heard Houston say it, we've heard Harrell say it, and I think Donnie said, all the coaches said it, stay in the fight. They're using the Mike Tyson analogy, where just don't get knocked out in those first 2 rounds. Be there for a decision, a judge's decision at the end, or get the knockout blow in the fourth quarter. But that has been the message here. And that's a tough balance for Donnie, right? You can't be too conservative and kill clock and try to keep them off the field. You got to try to go score. So it's a tough balance for the offensive coordinator of the Pirates.
Well, here's the other thing is everybody's sit on the ball, run it, sustain drives. You can't really do that against UCF with their style of play. Stanford Steve is talking about, they get in your face and they blitz.
They dare you to...
Yeah, they dare you to make big plays.
Make a play, yeah.
And they try to make plays. Similar to SMU, but they're better at it than SMU. And so they play a ton of man coverage. They blitz a lot, and they force you to make plays. And so that's something that ECU's probably going to have some chunk plays offensively. So they're probably going to have some quick scoring drives. And if that happens, this is going to turn into a track meet, which, you're going to have to outscore UCF. You're certainly not going to beat them 17-14, I don't think.
Yeah, well, we'll make a pick on that game later on. We'll take a timeout now, come back. Let's talk a little NFL, a little fantasy football start sit. Got a lot of questions to get to this week. Stephen Igoe has a gripe about a player. I've got a major announcement regarding my starting quarterback. I'm making a QB change for the first time in over a year. And I'm just kind of sad about it, but look, bottom line is wins and losses, and I got to get a win this week. We'll talk about that when we return on Pirate Radio Live after this.
It's a story that started in a community like ours. Cal Cunningham grew up in Lexington, where church youth groups working at the local brickyard and McDonald's shaped his life. And now Cal's running a different kind of campaign for the U.S. Senate.
I'm Cal Cunningham. I want my service in the U.S. Senate to be about listening and going places where Democrats don't always go. That's what I learned growing up in Lexington, where we don't check voter registration before taking care of our neighbors. We believe in hard work and service, just like the soldiers I served with overseas.
Cal Cunningham volunteered after 9/11, a lieutenant colonel in the Army Reserve who served 3 tours and took on corrupt government contractors. And Cal will take on the corruption in Washington that's been rigging the system for the drug and insurance companies. That's why Cal's not taking corporate PAC money, because he believes the top 1% don't need more favors. It's regular folks who need a voice. He'll be a senator on our side.
I'm Cal Cunningham, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Cal for NC.
Hey guys, listen up. The next 30 seconds is very important because we have an announcement. Shimmer Boutique is your one-stop shop to make you look good and thoughtful. This is Ashley at Shimmer Boutique. We specialize in men's and women's apparel and also carry the biggest selection of local hats and jewelry. From Yetis to Hey Dudes, this is the place for you. Did I mention we also have free gift wrapping? Come check us out at our new location on Greenville Boulevard behind Starbucks. Shimmer is your one-stop shop for the whole family, and we will always make your shopping experience easy and fun.
Your CBD store in Greenville has the highest quality CBD products in the country. Your CBD store is the first and only brand that carries USDA certified organic products such as gummies, honey sticks, and high absorption water soluble liquids, which are all made in the United States. They even offer products for your pet. The educated staff will help you answer any questions, and you can stop in anytime to get a free sample. Your CBD store, locally owned and operated, open Monday through Saturday 10 to 6, right beside Duck Donuts in Greenville.
Did you know you can help prevent natural gas emergencies? Whether you're planting a tree, putting up a fence, landscaping, or starting an excavation project, Greenville Utilities strongly encourages you to follow the law and call NC 811. Even minor contact with the natural gas pipeline could cause a natural gas emergency. Before digging or excavation of any kind, North Carolina law requires you call NC 811. Please call at least 3 full working days in advance so all utility lines can be professionally marked prior to digging. Stay safe, avoid damages, and call 811 before you dig.
I'm Michael Vaughn with East Coast Grading and Utilities. Many of you know my dad, David Vaughn, and his work in putting in subdivisions all over Pirate Nation. But East Coast Grading and Utilities is not just for those type of big jobs. We're here for the homeowners. Whether it's concrete, driveways, hauling rock, or sand, whatever you need, East Coast Grading and Utilities can get the job done. Call us at 252-531-7494 or check us out on Facebook at East Coast Grading and Utilities.
When you don't have time to go to lunch, let Jimmy John's deliver lunch to you. With Jimmy John's, we can get a freaky fresh sandwich to you freaky fast. Click to order at jimmyjohns.com. Dinner's great. It's one of your top 3 favorite meals. You just don't want to have to make it. Well, with Jimmy John's, you don't have to. Whether you live in a sandwich delivery zone or head into the store, you can always get a freaky fresh sandwich. Click to order at jimmyjohns.com.
This is John Gavigan with the Gavigan Agency. Our top priority is doing what is best for our members. Whether you are buying a new vehicle, a new home, protecting your family with life insurance, or filing a claim, our agency will be there every step of the way. Our goal is to become a trusted advisor for you and your family for all of your personal and commercial insurance needs. Give us a call in Greenville at 756-1400 for a car, home, business, or life insurance quote today, and give us the opportunity to show you the benefits of doing business with someone who cares.
This is Brian Bailey, host of The Brian Bailey Show, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by University PC Care, your local tech support experts for all your business needs. Let University PC Care take care of it so you can take care of business. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back to the show. UBE has been an ECU tradition for over 50 years. You can shop online anytime at pirateware.com. UBE has the biggest and best selection of ECU sportswear and accessories for pirates of all ages. Every day is game day at UBE. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Brock.
All right, welcome back into the program. Hello, Shirley. I wanted to get on camera. That's cool.
What, you couldn't do that at your camera?
That's not the same. That's a cooler cam.
Okay.
That feels more like...
I'll take your word for it.
All right. And I want to say hi to Mom.
Okay.
Is your mom actually watching?
Nah.
Oh.
Probably not. Probably. She'll be fired up for Saturday. She likes pregame show.
I want you to do that every break on Saturday.
Stephen Igoe will be here on Saturday. He and Ronnie Woodward in the 11 o'clock hour. Psych! 10 o'clock hour. We'll talk to Troy D., Brian North, Billy Weaver, and Jeff Nadu in the 11 o'clock hour. Igoe and Ronnie in the 10 o'clock hour coming up on Saturday.
So no more Pirate Radio tailgate check-ins?
Well, there's no tailgate to check in. We'll do a stadium check-in coming up on Saturday. Will says, surprise, surprise, no players out due to contact tracing from any of the SEC teams this weekend. I think they do their testing a little different, probably.
Yeah, I mean,
how many stars were you in high school? Oh, okay, you're good.
Between the number of players between all the programs, there has to be somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, LSU has seemingly already ran its course through the entire locker room. So if there is some sort of immunity, they would seemingly have it.
And if you test positive, you don't have to test again for a window of time, correct?
I think 3 months.
Yeah, so you're basically good for the season. All right, I go switch gears a little bit. We'll get back to college football in a moment. Let's talk fantasy football right now.
Let's do that.
I am 2-0 in one league, 1-1 in my other league, so a solid 4-2 overall. How are you doing in fantasy?
I'm 1-1 in both leagues.
Okay,
so
head above water, 500. Not terrible.
We're slowly drowning because of all these injuries. But,
that is true. Who affected you?
Everyone. Christian McCaffrey, Phillip Lindsay, Cortland Sutton.
Poor Cortland Sutton.
Yeah.
Like, he had an injury.
I don't even want to talk about the Broncos.
Okay. All right. Sorry.
But he had an injury.
He had an injury that wasn't why he missed week 1, right?
He played 11 snaps. He dropped the pass, and then chasing down the guy that intercepted it, he tore his ACL and MCL.
What a bummer.
So, like, he's got to be fighting some major depression right now. I hope the dude is all right, because basically his mistake led to the injury, and I give him credit for hustling. A lot of people are like, you can't go make that tackle. I'm like, he didn't know he was going to tear up his knee. I mean, he was just, that's what you do. But yeah, it sucks. The Broncos are tough.
You also hate Will Fuller? Or
Will Fuller, yes. He's not hurt. He just decided not to.
I like Will Fuller. I'm shocked that, and I don't have him on any teams. I was shocked to hear you say he put up a goose egg last week.
Yeah, 0 targets. Not even 0
That's crazy.
Catches, 0 targets. And, yeah, my team, I have so many players that are out with injuries. Like, Sammy Watkins is questionable. I have Drew Lock in one league. He's out.
All right, we'll get to it. We'll get to your team and your.
I don't even want to talk about my team.
Okay, we'll talk about other.
Let's talk about other people's teams.
All right, Casey, you can throw up your question. Throw up your questions on Twitter. You can put one in on Facebook Live if you're late to the game here, and we'll talk about them. Casey says pick 2: T.Y. Hilton, Jerry Jeudy, Leonard Fournette. Well, 1 is easy. I go because we have a grandma game alert.
Well, 1 was easy last week because he was supposed to bounce back.
Well, that guy this week is a must start. Andrew Walker covers the Colts. He said T.Y. Hilton's grandma gave him a call on Monday. She said she didn't recognize the grandson she was watching on TV the first 2 weeks of the season. When you get called out by grandma, you're going to step up and have a huge game. Start T.Y. Hilton, no questions asked.
Who are they playing?
I said no questions asked.
All right.
They play
Start T.Y. Hilton.
They play the Jets.
Start T.Y. Hilton.
Start T.Y. Jeudy or Fournette? I think the Fournette train is going to get rolling and rolling more each week. These two teams play against each other. No Cortland Sutton, but then again, no Drew Lock for the Broncos.
Yeah.
I might start Leonard Fournette here and hope you get that TD.
Denver's run D is probably the only good thing they have left.
What did Jeudy do last week?
He had another solid game, like 6 catches, 60 yards or something like that.
You think that might be his baseline each week?
Thus far, I'm pretty encouraged. Like, he hasn't had a big game yet, but he's involved a lot. But he is dealing with bruised ribs, so I see his snap count being limited. I like both those plays. This is a pretty good situation for Casey. I'd probably go Fournette.
Yeah,
I think the Bucs scored a decent amount.
Good question here from Zach, and I need to get Tyler Boyd in my lineup. I think I finally am this week, and he's been putting up some numbers, but so has Robbie Anderson. Chandler, what do you think about Robbie Anderson through 2 games? Is he at must-start level?
I'm on the Robbie Anderson train.
I'm nervous, though, Igoe. A guy we've talked about a lot in the past, Deshaun Jackson.
When people get on the Robbie Anderson train is when it crashes. That's when when nobody's on it.
Get off the track, then.
The train's coming through, butthead. I'm a little nervous about a Deshaun Jackson situation where he just goes invisible for a week.
I mean, he's such a boom or bust player because of his style.
But the Panthers get in these shootouts. Yeah. Will they get in a shootout with the Herbert Chargers, though?
The Chargers D is legit. No, there's no shot that's a shootout. But
Linville Joseph is going to just absolutely stop us.
Mike Davis ain't going to do much.
No. That's the thing is, who are the Panthers going to throw to now, though? I mean, it has to be Robbie Anderson.
I saw the day where
DJ Moore and Samuel. Right?
I saw the day where Joe Brady.
It's trash.
Okay.
I saw the day where Joe Brady said in his press conference that he was going to try to utilize Curtis Samuel a lot more.
Oh my God!
I've been hearing that for 7 years now.
Like Tony Dunn
been in the league like 3 years.
I know, that's how long I've been hearing.
Tony Dunn has been coming on the show being like, "This is Curtis Samuel's year."
Nah, well, maybe he's stopped that now. But yeah, okay. Anderson, Boyd. I guess I'll go Tyler Boyd. Who do the Bungles? Oh, Bengals play the Eagles. Yeah, give me Boyd.
I need one more Robbie Anderson game before I'm fully on the train. So
Chandler's going to be all alone, riding it on Sunday. We'll see what happens.
Just wait till this Sunday. He's going to torch the LA DBs.
All right. Blake says Corey Davis, Deshaun Jackson, Marvin Jones, Antonio Gibson, or Devin Singletary. Needs a flex play. If you go with the hot hand theory, Igoe, you're going to play Corey Davis. He's got 2 touchdowns in 2 weeks.
Isn't A.J. Brown a little banged up?
Yeah. And they have an elite quarterback in Ryan Tannehill. I like Marvin Jones. And they play the Cardinals. That could be a shootout. You get Galladay back, which kind of makes me like Jones even more. There won't be as much attention to him.
One of my leagues dropped Kenny Galladay after 2 weeks.
Did you scoop him?
I tried to, but I wasn't high enough on the waiver wire.
I'm down to Davis and Jones. And again, I think there's a lot of points in that Lions game. The Titans play the Vikings, who have given up points.
The Vikings D has been trash.
You want to go hot hand?
I do feel a bounce back game coming from the Vikings, but I don't love any of these guys, but I guess I'll go Corey Davis.
All right, Corey Davis it is. Drew Brees or Gardner Minshew? Chad said he couldn't believe he was actually asking this question. I think it is a legitimate question. Big Man thinks that the Jags put up 28 tonight. It's just tough to play Minshew, but Drew Brees, man.
I can't do it. No, Brees is getting Rodgers. You don't think he's going to try and show out that game?
Drew Brees has thrown like 2 balls past 10 yards this year. Then again, if Kamara catches it and runs, it all counts as passing yards.
Is Thomas back this week, or is he still out?
Good question. Does that determine? Well, I guess you
got to make the decision.
Because Minshew's tonight.
I'm going Brees. Now, I can't start Gardner Minshew after the things he said to me.
What did he say to you?
Just that time after
he big timed you
after the USF game. He came off the bench because who was it that got hurt? Nelson or Sir? I can't remember. I think it was Nelson. And we wanted to interview him, and he just walked by and he just said, "Oh, now you want to talk to me?" And then he just kept walking. Didn't do the interview. I'm like, yeah, you were a backup quarterback last week, Gardner. Why would we talk to you when you did not play?
I'm starting Gardner Minshew. I like the attitude.
2 weeks ago, it was with Titans fan Chad Moore. This week, it's with Gardner Minshew.
Igoe hates the AFC South.
AFC South was... I can't even talk crap because the Broncos might not win a game. But the AFC South is historically one of the worst divisions.
Ben has a quarterback question. Tom Brady, or should he add Fitzmagic or Herbert? Herbert against that Panthers D could be juicy. Did we skip somebody?
Tannehill or Russell Wilson for Chad?
Okay. No, but you don't sit Russell Wilson. I think Chad just wanted us to talk about the Titans.
I'm starting to come around on Tannehill. He made a throw last week.
Welcome back, baby.
I was never there, so welcome.
Good point.
Who were they playing last week?
Titans? Jags.
Yeah, so he made a throw last week where he got absolutely crushed to Humphreys.
Stood in there?
And he won my respect. Still not sold. He'll never win a Super Bowl, but he earned my respect. All right, go ahead.
Who are you going to start?
Well, Russell Wilson. Yeah. I mean, let's be real.
Brady, Fitzmagic, Herbert. I think Brady...
There's another Minshew question.
First of all, Brady is... Did I skip? Oh, crap.
What are you doing?
I keep skipping stuff.
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen or Minshew? Start Josh Allen.
Josh Allen's good.
Finally, Brady, Fitzpatrick, Herbert. Brady is what he is right now. He's old, but I think that offense is going to get better and better each week, and I would probably start him, although that Panthers defense is garbage.
I believe Brady is like 4-7 career all-time in Denver. Is the only venue he struggles in. But there's no fans, and the Broncos are starting 2 rookie cornerbacks of their top 3. And Chris Godwin's coming back. I'm going Brady.
All right. Good reasoning there. I like how you talked through that one. Byron says Mike Davis or any other Giant or any Giant running back?
No Giants. No Giants.
Here's the thing. I'm not just going to poo-poo Devontae Freeman like he doesn't just come in and rush 17 times. The problem is, like, their team stinks, right?
He might rush 17 times for 35 yards.
Like, if they were decent at all and Devontae Freeman came in, I wouldn't mind starting him week 1. We saw what Adrian Peterson did with the Lions, had 90-plus yards, but I just don't like their team at all, their offense. Mike Davis, man. Remember that time Mike Davis did the boa constrictor on the ECU defense, and they had like a 10-minute drive to kill the clock when the Pirates were in the game?
It was legitimately 4 yards in a cloud of dust.
And it was like 3rd and 2 every time, right?
3rd and 3 or 3rd and 2, and he would just get the first down, and they never threw the ball.
They were so exhausted. Oh, it was terrible. Herbert or Burrow? I'd tell you, I didn't think I'd be seeing this question this early. Joe Burrow versus the Eagles looks good to me.
Herbert worries me because he surprised the Chiefs last week. This week they'll have film. They'll go back and watch college tendencies, all that sort of stuff. I think that even though the Panthers don't have a defense, I still don't. We're talking about 2 rookies here, but at least Burrow's gone out and done it.
He threw the ball 61 times last Thursday, so ice that shoulder. Corey Davis or Michael Gallup? See what Gallup's done this year.
Yeah.
Because, again, Corey Davis is the hot hand man. Michael Gallup in 2 weeks of action for the Dallas Football Cowboys.
Behind Cooper and Lamb in terms of production.
Just 10 targets. I don't like that. Give me Corey Davis.
Code Dave.
Great nickname. Steve, Naheem Hines, C.D. Lamb.
Not Naheem Hines.
Or Devontae Freeman. C.D. Lamb?
Yeah.
Pretty easy.
Naheem Hines had a monster first week and was barely utilized last week.
I guess Jonathan Taylor had the good
week. He
had
like 26 carries or something.
All right.
So I'm going CD.
Daniel says DK Metcalf, Cooper Kupp, or A.J. Green. Oh, how the mighty have fallen with A.J. Green. Kind of sad. It's always sad when a guy we've watched their entire career just can't do it anymore, you know? I tell you who can do it, DK Metcalf and that Seahawks offense, especially against the Cowboys defense. I will take DK Metcalf.
DK Metcalf.
Clip. This is the week, Igoe. I've already got Aaron Rodgers in my lineup. Deshaun Watson or Aaron Rodgers?
Rodgers.
Now, Rodgers is taking on the Saints D.
Is that a problem?
I guess not. Yeah. He really...
Watson is taking on the Steelers D.
Yeah.
But Driscoll just lit up the Steelers for 21 points, which was the first time they gave up more than 20 points since Week 9 last year. Give me Rodgers.
All right. I'm playing Aaron Rodgers over Deshaun Watson this week. All right. This is a fun one, Steven. Russell Gage, who I picked up.
It's Russell Gage.
Had a touchdown last week.
Like, how is Russell Gage past Julio Jones in terms of production? Like, out of nowhere.
2020. Henry Ruggs. I don't know how to say this guy's name. Laviska Shenault.
Former Colorado Buff. He is a stud. I love Visca.
Or TJ Hawkinson. All right, so tonight, DJ Chark is out.
Yeah.
I'm
going Visca, man.
I got Laviska Shenault in my lineup currently.
Honestly, I would start Visca just from the standpoint of, like, I want a reason to watch the game, and he's awesome to watch.
I can't. So I watched this guy in college. Yeah. I can't believe it didn't click with me.
He would have been a top 15 pick if he was healthy.
All right, I'm going with Laviska Shenault. All right, Steven, you got any questions?
Yeah. Let me. I should have been pulling it up, but all right. So my team is garbage because everyone's hurt. So I have to decide between all these awful players for a flex.
Hurts.
Adrian Peterson at the Cardinals Emmanuel Sanders, who was awful on Monday Night Football, even with Michael Thomas out.
He was invisible.
Yeah. KJ Hamler for the Broncos came off the bench and had a good game.
Don't know who that is.
Chris Thompson.
Oh, my
against
boy.
the Dolphins.
I have a bet in on Chris Thompson tonight to have over 2 catches. So
that makes me feel great.
If you want 2 catches for around 13 to 14 yards, Thompson's your guy. If you want 38 carries for 52 yards, Adrian Peterson is your guy.
The Peterson thing is so weird because, like, if they don't get down, he has a chance to have a good game. But if they're playing at the Cardinals, which worries me.
I feel like that's a shootout, but I like the passing more than the rushing. Who the hell's this Broncos guy?
KJ Hamler. He's a second-round pick.
What position is he?
Slot receiver.
He
had 4 or 5 catches last week in his first game.
I mean, if I didn't just watch Monday Night Football and see Emmanuel Sanders barely exist, I would take him. Maybe after, like, you had a lot of guys. Is that the same team with Fuller? Like, no targets for your receivers. It's kind of weird.
Will Fuller is on that team, but he's in the starting lineup because the rest of the team stinks.
Nobody's throwing the ball to your receivers.
Yeah. I had a decent team on paper, but now they all stink up.
All right, I think they say, look, we got to give Sanders some throws this week. I'll play Sanders, I guess. I know you don't want to. Who are you going to play?
Peterson, probably.
Yeah.
The other league, flex play, Jerry Jeudy.
Tough league.
Will Fuller. Justin Jefferson, Chase Edmonds.
Will Fuller.
Yeah, that's what I was leading.
Bounce back. Got to go bounce back with Will Fuller.
If I start Will Fuller and Emmanuel Sanders and they both have like a combined 1 target, I'm going to quit fantasy football.
All right. Look, a lot of times I try to keep you guys into fantasy football, but if that happens, I won't have an argument. You just quit. You just stop playing, delete your app, throw your phone away, and spend time on Sundays, hanging out with the wife, picking flowers.
I love picking flowers.
Going to the market.
Can't say I've ever been to the market.
We'll take a time out, come back, and make some college football picks. What does Igoe think happens at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium Saturday? What's the score going to be? And we'll tell you. And we're red hot, folks. Both coming off 3-1 weeks against the spread. So stay tuned. We're back after this.
Hello, Pirate Nation. This is Representative John Bell, the Majority Leader of the North Carolina House, and it has been an honor serving the people of Eastern North Carolina the last 8 years. I've had the privilege of working with your local representatives, Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey, as they delivered hundreds of millions of dollars in COVID relief funding to our small businesses, healthcare providers, and families right here in Pitt County. Unfortunately, their opponents are funded by radical liberal out-of-state donors that want to destroy our agriculture heritage, defund the police, and silence your voice by buying this election. This is not North Carolina. We cannot and will not let this happen. Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey are focused on solutions, not revolutions. They will make sure your voice is heard and represent our Eastern North Carolina values. So Pirate Nation, the choice is clear. On November 3rd, please support and vote for Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey for the North Carolina House. Strong voices for Eastern North Carolina. Paid for by the John Bell Committee.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is proud ECU graduate and former baseball player Brandon Manning inviting you to join my team at Farm Bureau Insurance. Right now, during hurricane season, is a good time to review your coverage with a local trusted agent like me. I will make myself available before or after business hours, and my clients always have my cell phone number if they need anything. From home, auto, or life, give me a call today and let's talk about your insurance coverage and about the Pirates. Call 531-1812 and go Pirates!
This is Dr. Anthony Scalick from Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center of Greenville. We offer a variety of services including arthroscopic surgery, sports medicine, carpal tunnel surgery, general orthopedics, fracture care, total joint replacement, physical therapy, and on-site MRIs. For experienced and professional medical care, visit our office on W.H. Smith Boulevard in Greenville and online at orthoeast.com. Orthopedics East, providing services to ECU and Pitt County athletics for over 35 years. Go Pirates!
If you're like many, you may have put on the Corona 5, 10, or even 15 over the last 2 months. Well, the weather is warm and it's time to get that body back on track. At Clean Eats, we have you covered. Our weekly meal plan will quickly help you get back to where you want to be. Order online at cleaneats.com. Our cafe is back open, sanitized, and waiting to serve you healthy lunch and dinner options for dine-in, takeout, curbside, or even delivered through our delivery partners. Clean Eats, it's a lifestyle. 805 Red Banks Road, Arlington Village.
2020 certainly hasn't been the year many of us were hoping for, but one thing has stayed the same. I'm Tim Sutton with Greenville Auto World, and our commitment to our customers has never wavered. Let Greenville Auto World show you how easy it is to buy a quality used car in Greenville. We believe in fair prices, superior service, and treating customers right leads to satisfied repeat buyers. Your vehicle is a big investment, and our customers trust us to keep them up and running with outstanding service and value. We're Greenville Auto World, across from Hardee's at Bells Fork.
Can't make it to the game? Relax. Bostic Sugg Furniture can provide you with the best seats in the house. We have the area's largest selection of Lazy Boy motion furniture in stock and ready to go. Lazy Boy recliners, reclining sofas, love seats, and reclining sectionals in hundreds of colors, styles, fabrics, and leather, all at a very comfortable price. Remember, when it comes to Lazy Boy motion furniture, we're your ticket to the best seats in the house. Bostic Sugg Furniture in Greenville.
Hey, welcome to Jack Brown's.
Hey, can I get a cheeseburger and add lettuce and tomato?
No, we don't have it. You can get some macaroni and barbecue chips on it, though. Greg Brady style. Or cream cheese and jalapeno jelly. Cobra Kai. Or bacon, a fried egg, and some cheese. Chiplet. Or just cheese, like a cheeseburger.
Cool. I'll take a Greg Brady with those new cheese fries you guys got.
Sounds good.
Oh, I forgot. Can I get us that a ranch?
No! Jack Brown's, 805 Dickinson Avenue, Greenville.
This is Bryant Packard, ECU former baseballer. You're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by University PC Care, your local tech support experts for all your business needs. Let University PC Care take care of it so you can take care of business. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Domino's of Greenville has 3 locations to take care of you. Take advantage of the week-long carry-out deal of all 3 topping pizzas for only $7.99. Order online today at Domino's.com. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Brock.
One more segment to go here in Hour 2 with Stephen Igoe. Coming up in Hour 3, Troy D will be in the Pirate Radio studios, and we'll be talking to Mike Golic. Looking forward to talking to for the first time Mike Golic, as he'll be doing the color analysis for ECU UCF Saturday at noon on ABC. And you can hear our pregame coverage, 8 a.m. on the Bud Light pregame tailgate. We'll be with you after the game on the U.S. Sailor 5th quarter call-in show. Let's make some picks. Last week, Stephen Igoe and I were both 3-1 against the spread. I'm 8-6 on the year. Stephen is 6-8.
Starting to come back early, though.
Nice 3-1 week last week. Stephen will start with the Pirates and the Knights. UCF. Looks like the line has settled in at 27 points. I made a prediction on the Press Box Zoom that you can watch on our social media accounts, and I said the score would be 54-30. So if my math is correct, I'm taking the Pirates plus 27.
Yeah, 27 is a lot of points. I could definitely see UCF covering because they are that explosive. Don't really know what to expect from ECU at all, but
you expect points, right?
I do expect points. It's just how many points. I'm going 48-31 UCF, so ECU covers. You look back at last year, all the big spreads for ECU late in the season, they covered. They covered 35 at UCF. They covered 24 against Cincinnati. They covered 22 at SMU. So I think they'll make it a closer game than 27.
All right, Cincinnati, Army. I'm conflicted on this. I think I'm going to go Army and say they stay in this game with the Bearcats. But I'm interested. Cincinnati, the real deal. I think they've probably proven enough that they are a legit, solid top 25 football team. But what does their defense do against this option, and how many points can they put up? I think it's a nice showcase game for the Bearcats, Igoe. But I'm gonna say Army stays in it and loses the game, but I'll take them plus 13.5.
I want to say historically Cincinnati has really taken care of Navy with their option attack since Fickle's been there. So I'm going to go Cincinnati. I do think this will be a lower scoring game, like 21-7 or something like that. But I'll take Cincinnati to cover.
Maybe my favorite SEC game on the slate. Auburn is at home against Kentucky. Kentucky's tough. I don't know what Auburn has, but I know Kentucky's tough.
Is Kentucky tough?
The Kentucky is tough. And I like them plus 7.5 in this game.
Auburn.
Okay. Tennessee.
Kentucky's not going to go to Auburn.
But they're tough.
Tough, like 10-point tough, maybe, but not
7.5 point tough. Yeah. Tennessee 3.5 at South Carolina.
I don't know what to do with this game.
I'm going to buy a point down to 3, so it's not 3.5, but I'm going to take the Volunteers.
Tennessee has had a lot of COVID issues, right? That concerns me a little bit.
They're in the SEC. None of them have COVID.
No, that's true. They're all over it now. Huge year for Will Muschamp. I feel like this is a massive game for South Carolina. This is a huge game. Yeah. I'm going to regret this, but give me the Gamecocks.
Okay. I watched a lot of State Wake the other night. It was an entertaining game, and State was flying up and down the field. They were not playing any defense. So I'm going to say that trend continues, and the Hokies can outscore the Wolfpack. So I'm going to take Virginia Tech -7. It is tough to take these teams sight unseen, though, isn't it?
It's very difficult.
I'm going to do it, though.
VT, what is their attendance policy? Do we know? Any idea? I'm assuming that's a no, we don't know. Hokies.
I was going to look it up, but Miami -11, Florida State. Miami is dynamic with De'Aaron King. That was our one loss last week, Igoe, taking Louisville instead of Miami.
Miami, there's somebody on the Hoist the Colors board the other day that was trying to tell me De'Aaron King's overrated. I'm going to say no.
That he's not overrated?
I'm going to say he's not overrated.
Okay.
But
this is a rivalry game.
I'm taking Florida State to cover the 11.
Yeah, I kind of want to as well. I just don't feel like it's a blowout either way,
Wide right?
Wide right, wide left.
Dead center.
You know what? Florida State's quarterback stinks. Give me Miami. What am I talking about?
They
can't beat Georgia Tech. Miami's going to kill them.
Miami's going to be reading all their hype, and they're going to come out not jacked up.
I go no edge.
Yeah.
No edge. We're not doing the edge.
Not this week. We all know who has the edge on paper. And I need to see ECU play again. I don't know anything.
Who's got the best kicker?
ECU.
They got the edge.
Special teams, you can argue ECU's got the edge. Passing game, you can argue ECU's got the edge. But
no, you can't.
Their passing offense versus ECU's. Remember, I go offense versus defense. Now, straight up, I'm going UCF. If you say UCF's passing offense versus ECU's, I would go UCF. But ECU's passing offense versus UCF's passing defense.
I understand. ECU. And I agree with that. I would agree with that.
But either way, I mean, UCF's a 27-point favorite.
Yeah.
So
that they are. And we're both taking the Pirates plus the points. So what can we look forward to seeing for the next 48 hours on Hoist the Colors?
Lots of good stuff. We're dropping our first podcast. Hoist the Colors on tomorrow.
All right.
Tomorrow's Friday. So we announced that on social media earlier today, and
congrats on that.
We'll do that. Obviously, I'll keep coming on Pirate Radio doing our thing, but we'll have kind of a different angle with the podcast. Get some of our writers up there and hit some different stuff. So looking forward to getting that rolling. But lots of game previews, lots of breakdowns from what the coordinators talked about, recruiting stuff, game coverage, game recaps, all that sort of stuff.
Good stuff. Thank you, Igoe. We'll talk to you on Saturday, and we'll check out the podcast as well.
Thank you.
Second time out, come back. Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live on the way. In a big hour, it shall be. Troy D will be in here. We'll talk to Mike Golic on the Fixed NC Lifeline, and we have to open up the booty bag. We'll do all that in Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. Back with you after this.
Medicare is not one size fits all, but which plan is right for you? Hi, I'm Denise Walker, and I'm a licensed insurance agent here in North Carolina. Whether you are turning 65, new to Medicare, or already have a plan, I can help you compare your Medicare options. I can help you find a plan offering low to no monthly premiums, prescription drug coverage, and a wide range of additional benefits like dental, hearing, vision, and more. Call me today at 434-531-5674 to get a no-cost, no-obligation Medicare benefits review.
Hey guys, do you have those yellow overgrown toenails? Is your lady complaining that you have rough feet? If you're embarrassed to wear flip-flops or sandals, then the Man Cave is the spot for you. The Man Cave is Greenville's newest premier destination that provides professional manicures, pedicures, and hair services for men only. We even offer a special membership if you dare to join the Gentlemen's Club. What happens in the Man Cave stays in the Man Cave. So book your appointment today at mancaveandnails.com. Friends that groom together, stay together.
It's bow time.
Years from now, you'll tell your grandkids. Back in my day, we could get 2 Bojangles sausage biscuits for just $2.50. And those biscuits, shoot, they were always made from scratch. And that zesty sausage, sizzling like the summer of 2033. Then your grandkids will say, wow, 2020 sounds amazing. And you'll say, not really. But those biscuits work. Get 2 sausage biscuits for just $2.50.
It's bow time.
At US Cellular, we speak fair. When we say you don't have to pay activation fees, we mean it. Plus, right now when you switch, you also get $700 toward the latest phones. Yep, we mean that too. Upgrade to fair with US Cellular. Promotional pricing requires an unlimited everyday or even better plan. New line port and credit approval. Qualified smartphone purchase and comes via monthly bill credit on a 30-month RIC. Taxes, fees, and additional restrictions apply.
Does the idea of going to your local U.S. Cellular store make you feel a bit uncomfortable? Tired of the hassle of waiting and wearing a mask? Let Toby Williams and its outside sales team take away that worry. They will come right to your home or office and drop your phone off on the porch or at the front desk for you. Saving you time and worry is what the team at Cellular Warehouse is all about. Call Toby today at 252-799-7051 and let them help you with all of your wireless needs. Cellular Warehouse, your local U.S. Cellular authorized agent.
Let's turn a trip to the branch into a tap on your phone. Let's hit pause on a lost debit card without hitting pause on life. That's how First National Bank is redefining convenience with a top-rated mobile app that puts more security and control at your fingertips and friendly people to help you succeed right by your side. Let's get started at fnb-online.com or your local First National Bank. FNB member FDIC.
May 2020. A riot erupts in downtown Greenville. Small businesses are looted. The county courthouse windows are smashed. American flags are torn down and burned. Liberal State House candidate Brian Farkas refused to condemn the violence. Instead, Farkas attacked our police by calling for a radical statewide oversight committee that would bypass our local elected sheriff and district attorney. Farkas even took a $5,400 donation from a group which explicitly seeks to defund our local police at a time when we need them most. State Representative Dr. Perrin Jones has taken a different approach. He's working with Democrats and Republicans in Pitt County to institute meaningful reforms that protect victims of crime and the rule of law, all while honoring those who put their lives on the line for us every day.
I'm Dr. Perrin Jones, and I'll stand up for our police here in Pitt County and across North Carolina.
Dr. Perrin Jones for State House, paid for by supporters of Perrin Jones.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. University PC Care has been Pirate Nation's go-to IT experts since 2006. University PC Care is the best local tech support experts for any of your business needs. Let University PC Care take care of it so you can take care of business. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right. Thank you, Shirley Rhodes. Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. Clip Brock here. Troy D hanging out inside the Pirate Radio studios. What's up, Troy?
Good to see you, Clip. Been a big show today.
Big show today that's going to
get a lot going on.
Even bigger, right?
It is.
Big time guest on the way.
We are very excited to be welcoming in Mike Golic from ESPN and ABC. ABC will now, if you did not hear the news, some folks I ran into some folks today that did not know this, but ABC Network TV has picked up the ECU game this weekend here in Greenville against UCF, so it'll be still a noon kickoff, but Golic will be doing the color analyst.
Along with Dave Pash coming up on Saturday at Dowdy Ficklen Stadium.
He's going to join us live on this program in mere moments. Clip Rock.
Looking forward to talking to Mike Golic. Of course, a great player. Been in now the sports media side of it for a long, long time with ESPN. And we'll get his take. I want to ask him about, preparing for a Wake Forest Notre Dame game. And I guess you throw those notes out, Troy D, and you do a crash course on UCF ECU, because he didn't find out about this until a couple days ago.
That's true, and I believe it was his wife that actually broke the news on Twitter.
That's right.
This was kind of interesting, but and I want to lead too with him. He's done what we're doing, except he did morning radio for 17 years very successfully. Now he's making the transition.
One of the most popular shows probably ever in sports radio,
so
Mike and Mike.
I'm just curious to see how the transition's gone from a daily radio show to now just color analyst. But the pros and cons of both and where he is right now. But yeah, big time media personality and a great football name.
Looking forward to talking to him. Looking forward to making you a winner. We'll open up the booty bag here in hour number 3 as well later on in today's program. It's all ahead on Pirate Radio Live. We'll be back with Mike Golic right after this.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Cadillac. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, get an all-new 2020 Cadillac Escalade and save over $13,000 off. As always, Brown & Wood is the home of the lifetime warranty.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
It's a story that started in a community like ours. Cal Cunningham grew up in Lexington, where church youth groups working at the local brickyard and McDonald's shaped his life. And now Cal's running a different kind of campaign for the U.S. Senate.
I'm Cal Cunningham. I want my service in the U.S. Senate to be about listening and going places where Democrats don't always go. That's what I learned growing up in Lexington, where we don't check voter registration before taking care of our neighbors. We believe in hard work and service, just like the soldiers I served with overseas.
Cal Cunningham volunteered after 9/11, a lieutenant colonel in the Army Reserve who served 3 tours and took on corrupt government contractors. And Cal will take on the corruption in Washington that's been rigging the system for the drug and insurance companies. That's why Cal's not taking corporate PAC money, because he believes the top 1% don't need more favors. It's regular folks who need a voice. He'll be a senator on our side.
I'm Cal Cunningham, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Cal for NC.
This is Martin Truex Jr., and as a NASCAR Cup Series champion, I love one-stop shopping. When I need fresh tires or fuel during a race, my pit crew takes care of everything. Off the track, I have an Auto Owners independent agent. They handle all my insurance in one place: car, home, life, and business. Get your own pit crew and find a local agency with Auto Owners Insurance.
This is Brian Smith with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates!
If you are push mowing your yard using an inefficient lawn tractor, or your current zero-turn spends more time in the shop than mowing your grass, it's time you look at a Hustler zero-turn lawnmower. Residential mowers from Hustler are built like tanks and drive like sports cars. All Hustler mowers have fabricated, welded steel decks. Don't settle on cheap units with flimsy stamped decks from big box stores. Come see Ron Ayers Motorsports. It will guide you to the right mower for your property and your budget. Find us at Ron Ayers Motorsports, Highway 11, north of the airport in Greenville.
Hey, this is Jay from Villa Verde. Did you know that Villa Verde opened up its second location? Yes, it's Villa Verde Dos on Arlington Boulevard across the hospital. This new location is a fast, casual environment where you can make your own bowls for only $9.95. Choose from our fresh ingredients from our toppings bars or enjoy an amazing rotisserie chicken. We promise you can be in and out in less than 15 minutes. For a quick, healthy meal at an affordable price, visit us at Villa Verde Dos on Arlington Boulevard. Villa Verde, a platform for good.
Register for Army ROTC to be a leader and an officer in the U.S. Army, Army Reserve, or Army National Guard. You could also be eligible for a full tuition scholarship. Lead the team that makes a difference. To learn more, contact Dale Anderson at 252-622-5346 or Anderson, DAL, at ecu.edu. Paid for by the United States Army.
Hey, welcome to Jack Brown's. What can I get you?
Can I get a vodka soda with a lime, please?
No liquor, just beer.
We have beer out the wazoo.
And we don't even know what a wazoo is.
IPAs, sours, gozas, wheats, stouts, porters, you name it, we got it.
Drink 100 beers and join the Notch Club. Don't be a nerd. Ask about the Notch Club.
Yeah, we've got the best craft beer in Greenville.
Awesome. I'll take a pack to us light.
You got it, on the way.
Jack Brown's Beer and Burger Joint, located at 805 Dickinson Avenue, right in the heart of Uptown Greenville.
Hi, this is Morgan Ehlers, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Well, welcome back. Hey, guys, you cannot impress the ladies with that sloppy, unkept look, and that goes for you married guys, too. Time to get to the Man Cave in Greenville, the premier destination for professional manicures, pedicures, and hair services for men only. Enjoy a cold beverage, get a snack, and let the professionals make you look your best. Visit mancaveandnails.com and book your appointment today. The Man Cave now open on the corner of Fire Tower and Evans in Greenville. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. Welcome back into the program. Clip Brock here, Troy D alongside on Pirate Radio 92.7 FM in Greenville, 104.1 in Washington, online, pr927fm.com, and you can watch us on Facebook Live and YouTube Live, and we are in the midst of game week and getting ready for a big Saturday here at Pirate Radio. 8 a.m. pregame coverage for ECU UCF. That game will be on ABC, Troy D. And we got a big-time guest on the Fixed NC Live line that'll be on the call.
Yeah, another guy prepping for the game who probably at the beginning of this week wasn't planning to, but he is now. And that is Mike Golic from ABC and ESPN. And Mike joining us on the Fixed NC Live line. First of all, thank you for your time today, Mike. Great to have you join us.
Oh, glad to be here, Troy and Clip. Good to talk to you guys.
Let's discuss the logistics, because this kind of came out of the blue with the Notre Dame having a back out of a game, opened up a really great opportunity for East Carolina and UCF to be showcased, which originally was going to be an ESPN Plus game, which people would have to pay for, to now being a national game on ABC. When you found out about it, and I guess, too, we ought to let people know, because I was excited to maybe see you in Greenville. You're going to be broadcasting this game from home, correct?
Yes, I am. Listen, it really took a turn, but this is where we are. In 2020 with what's going on. I mean, ECU is, I'm sure, just happy to finally be having a game, let alone what's been going on with them. So I'm sure they don't care, the players themselves, which channel they're on. They just want to get on the field and play. But yeah, the beginning of the week we were prepping for Notre Dame at Wake Forest, and certainly I was particularly excited for that, being me and my brothers all played football there. My two sons played football there. My daughter swam there. We have a big connection to Notre Dame, so was certainly looking forward to that. And then because of the Notre Dame some positive tests, that game got postponed until December 12th, and they switched it up to this game. So we were a little behind, but we have certainly caught up, between film and prepping for the game and ready to go. And like I said, hell, my kids were college players. I was a college player. These guys have to be chomping at the bit just to get on the field. It's been such a wacky offseason starting from March. And we know COVID and what has been going on worldwide and countrywide takes precedent in the health of everybody. From a sports side of it, I know these guys just want to play some football, and it looks like they're finally going to get the opportunity to Saturday.
Yeah, in this day and age, Mike, we all got our fingers crossed because every day is a new adventure, and you never know what tomorrow brings. So hopefully we are playing football here Saturday. Let's talk about the logistics of the broadcast. As I mentioned, I assume, are you at your house or are you in Bristol? We'll be doing the game. And then what about, what is it, Dave?
Dave Pash.
Dave Pash is going to be doing play-by-play. Is he with you or is he separate too? How do you guys handle this?
It's odd, all depending on where you are. Like tonight, my son is calling the Thursday night game on on ESPN, and he's doing it with Matt Berry, who also lives in the area, and Matt Berry does SportsCenter as well. So because they're in the same area, they will actually be in the ESPN studio doing the game together. They will not be on site. So for me, Dave Pash lives in Arizona. Now, he was in Orlando in the bubble doing NBA games for ESPN, but his time ended there, so he's back in Arizona. So he does the show from his basement where they have a setup for him. I'll be doing the show in one of the studios in Bristol, and Paul Carcaterra, the sideline guy, will actually be at the game. So this will be my third game, and I haven't been at the site yet. I've been at ESPN. Dave Pash has been at his home in Arizona, and the sideline person has always been at the site. Those are really the only ones that are at site. Save for a couple of the groups out there where the whole broadcast team is traveling, I think only maybe two of them. The rest, we're all doing it remotely now. Now, that may change during the season, but right now we're doing it remotely. So it's certainly a little different calling it off a TV screen, but we have a lot of screens and try to have all the different camera angles. But there's nothing like being there. I wish we could. Because I always like to taste the flavor of the city, and great places to eat the night before and night after and such, but unfortunately we're just not doing that yet.
That's Mike Golic once again joining us on the live line. Mike, that's pretty wild that all three of you guys are three different locations. I would think just the logistics of that and trying to time it out, because you know how there's satellite delays and things like that, just how it all works is absolutely amazing that you could pull it all together like that.
It is tough, and I worked with Tom Hart 2 weeks ago, so with Dave this week, and I'll be with Dave the rest of the year. It was our first time this past week. And we had Lauren Sisler as the sideline. So, and that is the issue. You try and make sure you have as little a delay or no delay as possible. And one of the other screens that at least Dave and I have is an iPad that has a Zoom on it. So we can see each other in real time. So we can kind of look at one another, and kind of do it that way as well, give maybe hand signals or something. It's definitely something to work out. You have to kind of get into a groove of it. But at the end of the day, it just turns into a game. He's play-by-play, I'm an analyst, and we basically just have a conversation. But it just, there's no sense, and we'd all rather be there, but there's no sense in complain about it. We can't right now, so we still want to put on a good broadcast, so we just do what we got to do.
Mike, as you said earlier, you were all ready to go for Notre Dame Wake, and now you're crash coursing on ECU and UCF. So what do you know, and what do you hope to see? What do you expect to see from Mike Houston and the Pirates on Saturday?
Well, with Mike, his second year now after going 4-8 last year, we really talked a lot with him about, what his expectation was for that second year. And with a new coach, you eventually want to get your type of players here and how that process is going to go while having the guys that you have now and coaching them while along the way in the recruiting trail the next few years, getting the people more along the lines of what you want as well. He obviously, as he says, has a lot of great players to work with here, but, a system changes again. So, and players, both my sons, Mike and Jake, they went to Notre Dame, and Charlie Weiss was the coach, and then he was let go, and Brian Kelly took over. So it's tough going through a coaching change because for players, you're learning a whole new scheme, which means a whole new language, really, that you're trying to learn, and then a new coach that's kind of setting his new parameters that you have to learn. So, but he's an aggressive coach. He, brings back a defensive coordinator who he's worked with in the past, and Blake Harrell, who's an aggressive coach. So, I would imagine you're going to see some aggressive defense in the same way on offense. I'm interested to watch, Holt Naylor, the quarterback. Think about it. Love the size of the kid and what he does, but think about what he's been through. You go to senior year in high school, you have a system. You come as a freshman, you have a system. You come then as a sophomore, you have a different system. So in 3 years, he's had 3 different systems. So this year is really the first year he has the same system in consecutive years. So really kind of looking to see where he develops from there, and having more command of this offense since he's had to change from year to year.
Once again, Mike Golic joining us on the Fixed NC live line here. Troy D and Clip Brock coming to you in hour 3 of PRL. And Mike, I mentioned on this show about a month ago, Clip, I remember we were talking about, just what a crazy year it's been with all the COVID situation, and everybody's dealing with the same stuff, so everybody's got the same hurdles to jump over. But I said, you could do everything right with your program. You could run the perfect protocols. You could have nobody sick, and you could still be harmed by this due to no fault of your own because another team could be affected by it. And I look at what's happening in Houston right now, and I believe their last 4 games have been canceled or postponed because of the other team, not because of what's happened at the University of Houston. How do you see this season playing out, Mike? And most importantly, what about the postseason? It's so disjointed now. The Big Ten's going to jump back in late in the game. How do you see the postseason playing out? Do you think there'll be any bowl games? And what about the playoffs this year? Will that be intact?
Well, first the season, I think you're going to see what you're seeing right now. And it's what's interesting is where you lose a lot of players is not so much the positive COVID test, but then the contact tracing. You could have one guy test positive, and it could affect 10 people. So now, because one person tested positive, you could have 11 people out. And sometimes with the COVID, when you test positive, you could be out for 10 days. Where contact tracing, you could be out longer. So that's what a lot of that is the reason you're seeing mass numbers. And we know there were 2 pauses for ECU, one in July and one in August, that they had to deal with, and they had to have the team split. And I know they got their 3 scrimmages in, which was good for them, and a decent amount of guys lived in the area in the off season, so they could still get together. But and you're right, you could do everything right, and all you can do is control your players and what you do, and the other team could have an issue, and then before you know it, you're not playing. I think as far as the committee, the playoff committee, I'm wondering, guys, if they're going to have to put a limit on games, if they're going to have to say you have to get at least 8 games in or 9 games in if you're to be considered for the playoffs. Because what if a team is 7-0? And all the other teams have 9, 10, or 11 games in. Would you put a 7-0 team in the Final Four? So while it's been a different year for everybody and you have to deal with it, you still probably need to come up with some parameters. Now, I don't know what they're going to be, and I don't know when they're going to do it. Because you look at the Big Ten coming back in now, they basically have 9 games and 0 room for any disruption. For Notre Dame and Wake got postponed. They're going to play again December 12th, so they can make that game up. If this happens in the Big Ten, or if the Pac-12 comes back and tries to do this as well, there's no wiggle room. You postpone a game, now you're down to 8 games. You get a second game, you're down to 7 games. So do I still think there's going to be a playoff? Yes. What teams will really be involved in it, I don't know, because I'm still wondering if they're going to still try and set some parameters for how they're going to do it.
Mike, there's a lot of policies and procedures I don't really understand when it comes to this testing and everything that's COVID or coronavirus related. The biggest one that really just puzzles me the most, and I asked Coach Houston, he couldn't explain it either. You just outlined it, that it's not even testing negative or positive for COVID. It's if someone does and you are exposed to that person, even if you test negative, your penalty is you're out for longer. You have to sit out for like 14 days, where the person that had COVID could be back within 10 days. And even if it's my understanding, you can't test out of the contact tracing. Even if you test negative every day, they don't let you back. How does that make any sense if you never had it, yet the person that does have it can come back sooner? I just don't get it.
Well, here's the thing. I don't either, but I'm also not going to try and understand it because I'm not a doctor. And that's the one thing. Somebody in the medical field will probably not want to explain football to me, and me being in the football field is probably not going to want to explain medicine to a doctor. I can certainly scratch my head and ask questions about this, but how am I to look at if the doctors think this is best and say, hey, guys, you're wrong? Look what we've had. But look what we've had already. We've had the Power 5 conferences. 2 drop out because they felt what their doctor said they should drop out. The other 3 went ahead with it. So And we've seen information change. So I think we're all kind of stuck in a position of like, okay, and let's also be honest. We know why everybody's trying to play. They want to play football, but there's a lot of money at stake. We understand that. But the players, they want to play. You know, and if they're told, hey, our conference is going to play, these players are going to jump at it. You've seen guys that have been opting out that want to train for the NFL and get ready for that, and others with health reasons that are certainly opting out. You can understand. But I'm with you. All I can say is I don't understand it. And quite honestly, if a doctor tried to explain it to me, I still probably wouldn't understand it. But in no way, shape, or form can I go on air, on your guys' show or on air for the game or on air anywhere and say, you know what, I think these doctors are wrong. I don't think if you're contact tracing, you should be out longer if you test positive. Because how the hell do I know? I don't know that. But so everybody is playing by these rules, but it's got to be so damning. We were talking to one of the players, and his word was, especially when this started out and they were had to pause, all the procedures and protocols were annoying. But then they obviously saw how serious this was around the country and around the world and realized, you know, hey, we all need to take this thing dead serious because that's what it can lead to in some cases, and that's obviously the worst thing of all if you ever were to lose somebody.
Mike Golic joining us on the Fixed NC Live Line. Mike, as a Notre Dame guy through and through, and you mentioned your family and all the lineage there you have with the Irish. So I wanted to ask you, you know, we've been watching, you know, North Carolina, Duke, NC State play Notre Dame in basketball, and it's almost a normal thing to see that now. But this year we see the ACC painted on the field there in South Bend, touchdown Jesus overlooking the ACC emblem, and they are a conference member for this year only. I'm wondering, as a Fighting Irish guy, like, is that sacrilege? Is that one of the craziest things you've seen in 2020? Is it almost normal to you? Well, what about Notre Dame ACC for 2020?
There's nothing crazy about 2020 that you can explain, right? And take a picture of the ACC logo on the Notre Dame field because after this year it won't be there anymore. I completely understand what they did. You know, they normally play 5 ACC teams a year. They lost all their other games, especially with the Big Ten and the Pac-12, so they needed games. So this was a win-win. Notre Dame is going to split their money, their NBC money, with the rest of the conference, and they're all going to become one for the year. So it's a win-win. You know, Notre Dame being with that conference and that conference having Notre Dame in it from a football side outside of all their other sports, I believe, except for hockey, maybe some others. So, no, this didn't shock me at all. This is something they needed to do to get a schedule this year. As long as, again, the health officials in Indiana said it was good to go, then they wanted to find a way to play, and this was the way to play. So this was a win-win for everybody, but for anybody, and everybody does ask me, do you think this will be, you know, for good? No, it will not. If it ever comes a point where it will be more beneficial for Notre Dame to be in a conference, then they will. If not, they will be independent, and I have zero problem with that.
All right, Mike Golic joining us on the Fixed NC Live Line. Mike, you had just an incredible. You've had a great career at ESPN. It continues. We don't want to, but we're not putting an end to it currently. But you had a great run on radio for close to 20 years, I believe, doing a daily radio show. You now transitioned into the football analyst role. How has that gone? You know, from being on radio just about every single day, just about to now, just we're having I jokingly work one day a week. You know, it's a lot more than that. But how has that transition gone? Because it is a totally new role for you.
Oh, it is, because, listen, I called, the first thing I did out of when I retired from the NFL in 94 is I got hired at ESPN to call college games. I called it for ESPN and for ABC. And then, that was in 95 it started. Then the radio started. I actually started it with Tony Bruno before Mike Greenberg and then before my son and Trey Wingo. So I was doing college games. Then I started doing the radio and TV show. And I also started being an analyst on NFL Live, it's called now, but it used to be NFL Tonight. It was me and Mark Malone, Sean Salisbury, and Merrill Hodge. So I would do radio every morning, 3 nights, then 3 evenings a week. I would do the TV show, NFL Live or NFL Tonight back then, and then on Fridays I would fly to whatever game I was doing. So I was doing all of that. I did that until I said I would do college games until my eldest went to high school, so I wanted to see all their games once they all went through. So I haven't done a game since 2005, save for a few here or there. And let me tell you, it is really different, where all of a sudden I don't have a 4-hour radio and TV show, and I don't have a studio show to do. All I get to do is prepare for a game and watch film, and I'm a film junkie. I've been watching so much film on both these teams. Unfortunately for ECU, it's all been last year's film, but that's, what are you going to do at this point? So it's crazy. I have all this time now to prepare for a game. It's awesome, quite honestly. I've been getting in a lot more golf.
As Mike was talking there, Troy, Mike, during the sports hiatus, one thing we did here on Pirate Radio was rewatch old ECU games and talk about them as they were going on. And that reminded me, and Mike, maybe you remember the game, and maybe it was a Liberty Bowl. It was an old game in the 90s that ECU was playing, and Stephen Igoe and I said, wait, that's a young Mike Golic doing the color analyst work for that game. Do you remember, Mike, doing an ECU game in the past? And I can't remember which exact game it was, but I do remember seeing you in one of those calls there in the 90s.
There is unfortunately no shot I can remember that. Starting from 95 until 2005, I basically had a full slate of college games every year, so I unfortunately don't remember that.
Could have easily been the Liberty Bowl.
It might have been the Liberty Bowl, yeah.
All I know is back in those days, I was a lot bigger than I am right now. I keep seeing pictures every now and then, especially when my radio show was coming to an end. A lot of people were looking at pictures, and they were posting them of the past and stuff. And I remember going to my wife, about a month or so ago and saying, why didn't you tell me I was this big? I said, my God, why didn't you tell me I needed to lose some weight? She goes, I didn't think you were fat. You weren't to me. I'm like, well, I guess that's because, your husband, maybe you had to say that, but my God, you should have told me. I just look back and I go, oh, I did this game or that game, but I'm really like, oh my God, I was so big.
I will say this, Mike, as you've gotten older, you've really you've gotten yourself in great shape, and that's to be commended. So I think I'm going the opposite way. So I need to have you as a role model. Maybe need to get on your plan that I've seen you promote before. Hey, speaking of broadcasting, a younger Troy D, I mentioned this to Clip before we went on the air. I said, I think the first time I remember seeing Mike Golic on TV was a show back then, really ahead of its time, called The Lighter Side of Sports. Does that bring back any memories, Mike?
That I remember. That was when I was playing mostly in Philadelphia. We would shoot those in the off season. We would go somewhere and shoot like 8 or 10 shows. That was a ball. I mean, that was just going and showing bloopers and very lighthearted things. That was a lot of fun. That was one of the first thing I really did on TV. I was with the Eagles. It was called Golic's Got It. It was on the Randall Cunningham show, because all the quarterbacks have TV shows. And I had like a 3-minute segment on it every week, looking at the next opponent in kind of a humorous way. And then while I was doing that, they asked me to start taping these Lighter Side of Sports as well. I love those. Every now and then I see those. Man, that was so much fun to do. I absolutely remember those.
And Mike, by the way, our rabid Pirate fans, I knew at least one would remember.
And my phone's been blowing up about it, too.
Chiming in on Facebook Live. Mike, how in the hell did you forget about the GalleryFurniture.com Bowl between ECU and Texas Tech? I figured the GalleryFurniture.com Bowl would be one of the biggest games you've ever called.
A young Lincoln Riley was a grad assistant.
ECU Texas Tech was the game we were looking for. So
I'm going to say they were probably acting like I should remember that with tongue-in-cheek. Unless
absolutely,
yeah. Gallery Furniture Bowl outfitted my whole house with furniture.
Definitely tongue-in-cheek there, yeah.
That was a fun bowl game, though. East Carolina smacked the Red Raiders in that game. There you go. I was there, and I would
like to know I'd like to know what the gifts were for the players then for the Gallery Furniture Bowl. What they got is like their gift bag.
The swag bag. Yeah, we always look at those.
Everybody got a futon back then.
Not bad.
Mike, great stuff, man. We told folks tuning in late, a lot of people were excited to hear ABC pick up this game. They were thinking that you guys were going to be able to be in Greenville. You'll be able to broadcast, but once again, for folks tuning in late, unfortunately, due to the times and due to the situation, you'll be up in Connecticut, won't be in Greenville. But you never know when things could line up again, and maybe down the road we could have you in town, get you some barbecue. A lot of great places to take you to choose from to eat down here. So if we can ever make it work out, we'll treat and love to host you in Greenville, North Carolina.
I will never turn down barbecue at all. I hope to get there, but I look forward to this game. I mean, I'm sure everybody understands what UCF does. They love that fast-paced offense, so I'm excited to kind of see what will be somewhat of a relatively young defense and how they're going to attack that and what they're going to do, and then obviously what what Ehlers can do as well for the ECU offense. I'm really looking forward to this. It should be a lot of fun. I really wish I was there in person, though, but maybe another time.
Mike, thanks so much for your time today. We'd love to have you on the show, and maybe we can hook up with you again down the road.
All right, sounds good, guys. Thanks.
All right, thank
Thanks,
you so
Mike.
much. Mike Golic, great guy. A lot of fun to talk to.
And that's the thing about radio, too, that separates from TV. When you listen to somebody for years and years and years, it's almost like you know him.
I know.
And he's like an old friend.
Yeah.
And I kind of felt that way hearing Mike Golic.
It did kind of seem like a regular, and he is a regular guy.
He is.
I mean, I will say for some, he's played the game. He's been in media. He gets it. And you hear a lot of good stuff. Mike's interacted with so many. I mean, think about how many hundreds or thousands of people he's interacted with throughout the last 20, 30 years. You don't hear much bad stuff about Mike Golic.
And I thought about, and I don't know if it was worth...
And by much, I mean, I don't hear anything.
Exactly. And to be in the business as long as he has, and to not have one of those just like slip-ups or anything.
Tells me I think he's a good...
Genuine.
What you see on the air is what you get off the air, too. I think he's a good guy,
No doubt. That was awesome. I'll tell you what else is awesome. Giving away something to a lucky listener, Troy Day.
We love to bribe our listeners, and we will pay you to listen. And in this day and age, we're paying you with what?
Booty, 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 booty everywhere. Booty, 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 booty everywhere.
Lunch at Tiebreakers.
All right, so we're going to pay you with free lunch at Tiebreakers just for tuning in today.
Lunch for two at Tiebreakers. I went there on Sunday, caught some NFL action. Washington football team made me lose my appetite, but they have awesome food at Tiebreakers.
Don't sleep on the lunch specials. If you go there for lunch, look at the back of the menu. $7.50 the lunch specials. Full array of items to choose from with a side and a drink for $7.50. I went with the chicken salad wrap with a salad as my side.
Oh, health nut, Troy D.
So I'm telling you, it doesn't have to be all... chicken wings,
burgers,
Just a little side note, little pro tip right there.
Go lighter.
You could eat healthy, too, if you want to.
And we'll let you have that lunch for free if you are caller 12, 317-1250. Back with more Pirate Radio Live after this.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is proud ECU graduate and former baseball player Brandon Manning inviting you to join my team at Farm Bureau Insurance. Right now, during hurricane season, is a good time to review your coverage with a local trusted agent like me. I will make myself available before or after business hours, and my clients always have my cell phone number if they need anything. From home, auto, or life, give me a call today and let's talk about your insurance coverage and about the Pirates. Call 531-1812 and go Pirates!
You don't need a big meeting. You don't need a birthday. You don't need any excuse at all. You just need to love subs. Times 12. Order the Jersey Mike's catering box today. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above. Tired of cooking at home? Change it up without getting up. Just order Jersey Mike's through our app for no contact delivery or no contact at the door pickup. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
The Frells family lives on a lush piece of land called Greener Pasture, and they work on it behind the wheel of a John Deere 1 Series tractor. With its durable construction and features that hook up to dozens of attachments with ease, no job is too tough. The Frells family runs with us, because this is more than just land, it's home. Nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere 1 Series for more.
Get quality at every turn with Quality Equipment, your local John Deere dealer, with 27 locations in North Carolina and southeastern Virginia. Find out more at QualityEquip.com.
In studio with Gloria from Kinetic Physical Therapy. What kind of wellness services do you guys offer?
We have massage therapy with your choice of either a relaxation massage, a therapeutic stretching session, or a prenatal massage. We have foot reflexology. We partner with Pirate Cryo for cryotherapy, also known as cold therapy, and we have health and wellness coaching. And if you're interested in holistic body therapy and saving money, we encourage you to check out our wellness membership plan where you can have all of our wellness services at a constant discounted price. You can learn more today at kptonline.com.
Hey Pirate fans, the Papa John's menu has grown again with the all-new grilled buffalo chicken papadilla. The papadillas are part sandwich, part pizza, and are only $6. Choose from the all-new grilled buffalo chicken, Philly cheesesteak, Italian, pepperoni meatball, and barbecue chicken and bacon, all for only $6 each. Also for a limited time, get any large 5-topping pizza for only $13.99. Place your order today online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, the official pizza of the ECU Pirates.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
Every team knows that the two-point play can be a winning move. That's why I'm here. State Farm agent Timothy Sawyer and my team are here to help you go for two by combining your home and auto insurance. It's a great call that saves you time and money. So go for the win and score some savings by combining your home and auto. It's just another way we're here to help life go right. Call me, Timothy Sawyer, at 493-0002 today.
East Coast Grading and Utilities is your source for clearing, hauling dirt, and concrete work. East Coast Grading and Utilities handles all sewer and water issues as well.
I'm David Vaughn. Whether putting in a new subdivision or helping you with any and all of your drainage problems, I can get the job done. Call me at 531-7494.
No job is too big or too small. East Coast Grading and Utilities. Friends helping friends. 531-7494 for East Coast Grading and Utilities.
This is assistant football coach Drew Dudzik, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Taking a look at your stock market report for today. The Dow was up 52 points and finished at 26,815. The NASDAQ was up 39 at 10,672. And the S&P was ahead 9 at 3,246. That's your Wells Fargo Advisors financial report. For a personal look into investing, call Wells Fargo Advisors today at 756-6900 in Greenville. Wells Fargo Advisors LLC, member SIPC. And congratulations to Josh Lilly of Greenville, who picked up a lunch for two, courtesy of Tiebreakers. Tiebreakers is open every day at 11 a.m. and has the best is the best place to watch your favorite sports while enjoying the best wings in town. They also have sandwiches, appetizers, cold beer, and more. Follow Tiebreakers on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Barrage.
All right, thank you, Shirley Rhodes. Thank you, birthday boy, Chandler Honeycutt.
Happy birthday, Chan, man.
Yeah.
The big 2-2.
The Deuce.
Does a great job for us here.
Absolutely, he does. And Troy D here as well.
Has it been 4 years, Chan? Wow. It's like that seemed exaggerated to me, but time flies.
Started August of 2016, my freshman year.
Wow. Thank you. We just let you just sit and watch back then. We didn't let you touch anything back then.
Former ECU softball player Carly Smith was an intern here at the time. And I would sit in the corner on this.
Literally. Nobody puts Chandler in the corner but us.
So for the first semester, I sat in the corner and kind of just shadowed, I guess.
Yeah, that's right.
As you and Jonathan put it. And then I kind of got in the full swing.
I would have never dreamed we'd let you touch as much stuff as you do on a daily basis.
Now he's running the deal.
Yeah, doing a great job.
I appreciate it.
Good
Thank you,
stuff.
guys.
Yeah. All right. Awesome chat with Mike Golic.
Man,
I'm going to go Troy D.
That was fun. That was good. We'll have to hook up with Golic again, hopefully down the road, and get his perspective on things. It feels like he's one of us.
He's our friend now.
Yeah. You see how this goes, Clip?
Yeah.
You have a good meeting, and you hang out, and you become friends.
I need to tweet. Talk to my friend Mike Golic, and he said, get a little Mike Golic runoff there. But all right, so that was great, and he's going to be on the call Saturday, Troy. And does it feel real to you yet?
I think it'll feel real to me by Friday when the tests come back.
I know.
And everybody's cleared for ECU, or enough to play anyway.
I'm with you.
And then UCF is cleared, because I hate to say this, but it's like lower your expectations so you're not disappointed. So like I'm still like thinking, well, I'm not going to get too excited because we're not at game day yet. We're not at kickoff yet. So I feel like if we can get past Friday and we can get to Saturday and the team's in the hotel and everything starts to, go on the clock at that point, then I'll feel like, okay, now once 8 o'clock rolls around in the morning, Saturday morning, we start the Bud Light pregame tailgate, then it's going to feel real to me.
Then it is real.
Yeah.
And looking forward to that. Big show coming up Saturday. We'll check in with Troy D live at the stadium in the final hour of the show.
I meant to bring it in with me in the studio. It's in my office. I got we did, they're credentialing basically one person per media outlet. You know, as everybody knows, all the rules are different. Only 350 people will be in the stands.
Which, by the way, real quick, we talked about that, and you said, and we'll determine who goes from Pirate Radio. And I said, so that just means you're going to go. And you said, no, we'll talk about it. Well, I missed that meeting. When was that meeting about who's going?
Yeah, you're right. You did say something about it, and then me and Ellerby met on it.
Okay,
I needed to go. So anyway, I felt I would represent. You need to be here anchoring what you do. Everyone has a role to play, Clip.
All right.
We've got our what I consider our best people in the studio anchoring the show, and behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, and around the scenes. We got we'll have our Pirate Radio team here, and then I'll be on location for us at the Town Bank Tower. But I got a 3-page list of protocols, requirements, and what I've got to do just to be able to get in the building up there. So it's going to be a different deal. So I want to be able to go and then report back to you on the pregame what exactly it's like, what's going on. There's going to be very limited media attend anyway because look, let's be honest. There's only a handful of media outlets that cover ECU day in and day out, and then out of those, there's only one per organization. So it's just going to be a few people up there in the press box. You'll have 350 people in the stands, which in a 50,000 seat stadium will seem empty. Now, 350 people at a Little League game, that's going to be a lot of noise. But I think in Dowdy Ficklin, even if they're all cheering, it's better than nothing. But those will be basically player parents that'll be there. So it's
the sidelines are going to look a lot different too, right? Because you're not going to have the cameras and all the extra. I don't know why
there will be a few cameras they're allowing in the end zones to shoot.
Right. Okay.
So there's all type of protocols of where they can go and when they can go to the other end zone and at what time they can only cross or go across the field behind the bench at certain times, like at the quarter.
I've always thought there was too many people on the sidelines anyway that didn't belong there, especially in big games like Snoop Dogg is hanging out with USC. Like, what is he doing on the sidelines?
Well, Snoop Dogg, that's pretty cool for recruits.
But so we're not going to see all of that.
No, you're not going to see anything. The team's going to be spaced out, so they're going to be probably stretching for the big chunk of the sideline too. So it is definitely going to be a bizarre deal. Even the elevator going up to get to the press box in Town Big Tower, they're only allowing 2 people at a time. And those elevators are pretty large. Now, last time I went up there, they have an elevator attendant that kind of guides you what floor do you need, and there's someone there. So that's one person. So basically, it's one person at a time in the elevator. So it could, even with a handful of people being there, it could take a while with only one person going up and down.
Just think if it was the old elevator they had when everybody would cram in. Shirley would love that.
It would take you 3.5 hours to get up there. The game would be over by the time you got access.
If you went one by one, you would not be up there literally till halftime.
Yeah. So hopefully the stairs are available, and I'm considering taking the stairs club.
Well, look, lunch you had at Tiebreakers, you should be ready to go. A salad and wrap.
We took the stairs because the elevator wasn't ready. Back when we did the tour, I guess it was last year or last summer. Yeah. We got a sneak peek. I don't know if you were with us back then.
Best man at the studio.
That's right. Glenn Griffin was with us, and we had to take the stairs, and God bless Glenn, but I thought we were going to have an medical emergency. It was a lot of stairs to go up, and I just remember and I could be in much better shape, but even I was like, man, this is a good little poke up here. And most of the media members are not in the best of shape. They're not. But they're not Stephen Igoe.
Well, let's name them out. Let's call them out.
Everybody, but Igoe is not. And Ronnie's pretty. He's pretty lean. But
you always always say too much. Like you could have.
No, but my point is, it's hard for these media guys to walk up 5 flights, and they're for whatever reason, it felt like 10 flights. The flights at Town Bank Tower aren't normal flights of stairs.
Okay, man, move on from the stairs.
Well, I'm just saying, even with that, I'm considering doing the stairs Saturday.
All right, well, look, we wish you luck. We're going to say a prayer for Troy on Friday night that he can make it up the stairs.
I'll take any support I can get.
On Saturday.
I'll report live to you in the pregame if I make it up.
No, I want it during the walk. Start with step one. We'll do your whole report walking up the stairs.
We're 3 flights in. I'm ready to call it quits.
That way, if you do need help, you can tell
That's
us.
true.
And we can send
you can
help
send somebody
right away.
Call Chris Sutton.
But yeah, this will be, and somebody had asked, so no tailgate reports. And unfortunately, we will be talking to Troy live on the phone out at Dowdy Ficklen Stadium like we always do, but you will not be tailgating this time.
No, and they're very restrictive of where you can go once you're in. Yeah. And it'll be, as I said, a very different deal, but a unique situation. But luckily, ECU hopefully will be playing.
And we're still a long time before we get there, but, the conversations we're going to have when we get past this game, Troy, and thinking about the next home game is, what about tailgating? What fans will be allowed in when you get to that 3,500 number?
Yeah.
And kind of you want to get through this game first, but starting to think about those things.
Yeah, and I think we've talked to Gilbert about that. They're going to go with the, event. I'm sure they'll announce it officially, in the next week or so, but they have a priority point system for a reason. Mm-hmm. And so they're probably going to, I would carve out, how many student tickets out of 35? I was thinking, do you carve out 1,000 tickets for students?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to guess.
Yeah.
Then that leaves 2,500 for everybody else, and then then you got to go. At that point, I think they'll probably want to open up the suites and the club level to people.
And does that number count?
I think that I would think so.
Yeah.
So that might take out, let's say, 600, 800 people, whatever it is, and then you put the remainder in the stadium. And this is just my scenario.
Right.
We'll see how close I am to it, but and then you go by the priority system, and depending the top. 500 people in the Pirate Club could order 2 tickets. If they don't want to all get them, then you go to the next 500.
Then it keeps going down.
Yeah, sure. So, and then, look, there'll be a demand for it, but there'll also be a lot of people that are fine sitting it out and watching on TV and being on the sidelines. But at 3,500, you can find 3,500 people that will want to go.
No doubt. And it's going to be a weird scene at Dowdy Ficklen Stadium on Saturday. Jeff Charles talked about it yesterday, overlooking the field and not seeing many fans in the stands other than a few parents and family. So hopefully, again, that number continues to rise as the season goes along.
And it is going to have to be the sideline. They're going to, and I'm sure Coach Houston's going to talk about it. They're going to have to bring the energy. They're going to have to be the cheerleaders. Right. They're going to have to be the support staff. They're going to have to be the fans in the stands many times. So the sideline is really where you're going to get your energy from. And hopefully they can fire up these guys. And look, right now East Carolina has nothing to lose at this point because, everyone thinks the Pirates are going to get destroyed. They've got
underdogs.
Almost 28-point underdog. I think they have a 5% chance, 4.5% chance.
Oh, yeah. John Moody sent that the other day when you asked for it. 5% chance to win according to the ESPN, computer
next-gen stats or whatever it is. So it's very unlikely to win, but right now I'm just looking, hey, can ECU be competitive?
Yeah.
Can they make a game out of it? I think in many ways that would be a big accomplishment, especially for the first. We haven't seen this team in a year play.
We got to take one more break. We'll get in a moment, but Shirley, let's hit Donnie Kirkpatrick cut 4 because he was asked yesterday during the Zoom. Donnie's been at Dowdy Ficklen Stadium when it's been packed and it's been rocking and rolling. It's not going to be that way Saturday, and Donnie was asked about that.
Yeah, I have, and the thing about, I guess, is we've told the team we've had 3 scrimmages, and then we had a practice where we scrimmaged about half of the time and then just went thud the other half. So really 4 times we've gone to the stadium, and it's just been us. It's just been us in there, and we played a little bit of music. We got DJ Big John Williams down there spinning some albums and some records and stuff like that. But we've really tried to simulate, and we've told them each time this is what it's going to be like probably this season, or at least at the beginning of the season. And so I think we've just all kind of started getting ourselves used to that's what it's like, and that's probably what we'll have this Saturday. Now, one difference for me is being on the field, you feel that energy and you hear that noise. Like I say, like you're talking about when this thing really did roll and it really did shake. When you're in the press box, it's kind of like that anyhow. So it's not going to affect me much, but I know it's going to affect the team. And the guys on the sideline, they know they got to bring the energy. They got to be that crowd. They've got to be the one that kind of pumps the team up a little bit. So our video guy today told me that 5 years ago this Saturday to the date would be the last time. I don't know if this is true or not. Y'all will know this, that 5 years ago this Saturday we were on ABC and we played a ranked team, Virginia Tech. and a little bit of a rain that night, and James Summers run them over, and we whipped them. And I do remember what it was like in that stadium, and I can't wait till it's like that again.
There's Donnie Kirkpatrick talking about the lack of fans in the stands, and also Summers time, Troy D.
Yeah, and I meant to ask Golic about this, because when I think ECU was, and I don't remember, I'll take everyone's word for it that it was on ABC, but they had regional games back then. So we might be on the Southeast region. They'd put a different game on up north. They had a different game on in the western part of the country. This game, I believe, and we'll find out Saturday, this may be the first time ECU has been on now ESPN runs a national game, or ESPN2. We've been on that many times, but ABC network TV, not cable. This might be the first time ECU's been on ABC as a true national game, where my cousins in LA can watch it at 9 a.m. in the morning for their time. So I think we'll find out Saturday. I don't think there's another game on ABC at this time regionally, but normally during Saturdays, they split it up in parts of the country.
Yeah, I think this is the only game in town. And by town, I mean country this week for ABC at noon. So, Troy, let's get our last break in.
Yeah, and I want to mention, too, Clip, our buddy Tony Corey is, a lot of people, if they own a business and they want to sell it, they don't know what to do. A lot of people know what to do if we want to sell a house. But how do you sell a business?
You can't take a business to a pawn shop.
Or more importantly, what if you're a manager? What if you want to buy a business? How do you do it? Well, good news, folks. Tony Corey is ready to help you. He's right here in Greenville, Trans World Business Advisors. You can go online, transworldeast.com, to learn more. Did you know, Clip Rock, that you can buy a business with only 10% of the sales price and even use your retirement funds to do so without penalty? Did you know, if you want to buy an existing franchise where operational systems are already in place, Trans World Business Advisors has over 400 different franchises that you can choose from. They also have over 150,000 pre-qualified buyers in their database. So if you're looking to sell a business, they're the ones to call. If you want to be your own boss or you want to sell your business, either way, you want to get in business or you want to sell your business, Tony Corey is the one to call. 347-9606, 347-9606. His team of business brokers and professionals will help you throughout Eastern North Carolina and even beyond with that process. Thanks to Tony Corey and Trans World East for their support of the program.
Take our final time out, come back, wrap up Pirate Radio Live on a Thursday after this.
Medicare is not one size fits all, but which plan is right for you? Hi, I'm Denise Walker, and I'm a licensed insurance agent here in North Carolina. Whether you are turning 65, new to Medicare, or already have a plan, I can help you compare your Medicare options. I can help you find a plan offering low to no monthly premiums, prescription drug coverage, and a wide range of additional benefits like dental, hearing, vision, and more. Call me today at 434-531-5674 to get a no-cost, no-obligation Medicare benefits review.
Hello, Pirate Nation. This is Representative John Bell, the Majority Leader of the North Carolina House, and it has been an honor serving the people of Eastern North Carolina the last 8 years. I've had the privilege of working with your local representatives, Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey, as they delivered hundreds of millions of dollars in COVID relief funding to our small businesses, healthcare providers, and families right here in Pitt County. Unfortunately, their opponents are funded by radical liberal out-of-state donors that want to destroy our agriculture heritage, defund the police, and silence your voice by buying this election. This is not North Carolina. We cannot and will not let this happen. Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey are focused on solutions, not revolutions. They will make sure your voice is heard and represent our Eastern North Carolina values. So Pirate Nation, the choice is clear. On November 3rd, please support and vote for Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey for the North Carolina House. Strong voices for Eastern North Carolina. Paid for by the John Bell Committee.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is former ECU tight end Bryce Williams from my friends at the Auto Store Group. If you're in the market for a quality used vehicle, then the Auto Store Group is for you. The Auto Store Group has 3 locations and over 150 quality used vehicles to choose from for all budgets. Shop their entire inventory today at theautostoregroup.com. The Auto Store Group, your hometown store and Pirate owned and operated for over 38 years. Go Pirates!
Introducing new Domino's Carside Delivery. Now when you carry out, you don't even need to leave your car. So you don't have to interrupt your favorite song.
It's time to drive down to the rock show.
Or interrupt your kid's favorite song.
We'll be friends just for one
You can interrupt this, actually.
Try Domino's Carside Delivery when you carry out 3 topping pizzas for $7.99 each, and we'll carry out your order to your car contact-free. Carry out only. You must ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, and charges may vary. Excludes XL and specialty pizzas. Crust availability varies by size. Message and data rates may apply when using Domino's Carside Delivery.
UBE and PirateWear.com are proud to offer the Pirate Nation its largest inventory ever. Brand new Adidas is arriving daily, along with Under Armour, Columbia, and Russell Athletic. UBE is loaded with cargo, and new items are being added daily to PirateWear.com. Be sure to check out our children's store, The Crow's Nest, for all of your young pirates. UBE and PirateWear.com, an ECU tradition for 50 years. Go Pirates!
Looking for your next career opportunity? How about some extra cash to help pay for school? Your locally owned and operated Dixon Foods McDonald's is hiring, and they would love to have you as part of the McFamily. They offer flexible hours, competitive pay, and financial support to pursue your education through McDonald's Archways to Opportunity program. Come join the family at McDonald's. Don't let this financial opportunity pass you by. Please visit DixonFoods.com to apply.
White Claw Hard Seltzer. Discover a new wave of refreshment. Crafted using seltzer water, 5% alcohol, and a hint of fruit. Available in 5 fruit flavors, 2 grams of carbs, gluten-free, and 100 calories. Find it at whiteclaw.com. White Claw Hard Seltzer. Nothing tastes quite like it. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with natural flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, 2019 Chicago. Visit whiteclaw.com for full nutritional information.
This is Big John Williams, strength and conditioning coach for East Carolina football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. If you're in the market for quality used vehicles, then the Auto Store Group is for you. The Auto Store Group has 3 locations and over 150 quality used vehicles to choose from for all budgets. Shop their entire inventory today at theautostoregroup.com, and remember, you can also check them out online, as I mentioned, at theautostoregroup.com. And the Auto Store Group is your hometown store and Pirate owned and operated for over 38 years. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, Troy, I was talking to somebody last night at Sports Trivia at AJ's, and I called myself before I was going to say what I was about to say. And I prefaced it with, look, I grew up, my dad's a farmer, I've worked, put in tobacco, like I've done hard manual labor.
Yeah.
But I'm really tired today because I did 3 Zooms. And it sounds like such a weak thing to say, but I was zoomed out yesterday.
People don't understand the mental fatigue that goes on in this business.
Thank you.
It's not physically demanding, it is mentally taxing.
I did a Zoom with Garrett McGinn, which you can watch right now on our social media sites. We did a Zoom with the coordinators, Donnie Kirkpatrick and Blake Harrell, and Troy D. We did a press box Zoom where we gave all of our predictions, which you can watch now.
That was a lot of fun. We're going to do that each week. We're going to bring the press box back via Zoom. So here's the pros. I consider all these guys pros. This is what they do. They've covered the program a long time. I'm going to give everybody's prediction that on the Zoom, and then I averaged it. Let's see how close this is to the actual score of ECU and UCF. So Bailey, first of all, everybody picked UCF to win, unfortunately. Bailey's score was 49-38. Weaver was 48-31. Meador was 41-27. Clip was 54-30. Mine was 56-24. If you average all those 5 guys, the score, it will be 49.6 to 30.
All right.
So stay tuned. So about 50 to 30 is the average of the Pirate Pros predictions.
Take the Pirates plus the points.
So I'm just passing the information along.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
These people are professionals. This is what they do.
Why are you saying these people? You're in this.
Right. I consider myself a professional.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're trying to put it on us in case it's bad.
I'm part of us.
Okay.
Yes. No.
This is us.
How could we be wrong is what I'm saying.
If we're all wrong, we're all right. I don't know. Shirley, Chan, great
Proceed with caution is basically what I'm saying.
Troy, we'll talk to you Saturday.
Sounds good. Look forward to it. Hopefully I can get through all the protocols and
good luck
get in.
with that.
We're
Hopefully
still
hopefully you can get up the stairs. We'll be here Friday, 3 o'clock on Pirate Radio Live. So long, everybody.
Thanks for listening to Pirate Radio Live, an exclusive presentation of the voice of the Pirate Nation. This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington.